It happened, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to Montgomery Men's Health. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough good about them. They took care of me, followed up, and made adjustments to make it happen even better. I even learned I had low testosterone, which they were also treating me for. And I have never felt better. If I were you and you're like me, I'd give them a call today at 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com. If you like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
There are those that think I'm a very stable genius.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
I got hairy legs.
I got worms.
You know, they used to say Abraham Lincoln got the worst press. I said, there's no way he got worse than me.
Fat broads and horse face.
Shut up, silly woman.
This afternoon, we've seen a whole lot of table banging.
Thank you, Dr. Pepper, and thank you, Chancellor, or Dr. Paper, and thank you, Chancellor.
I'm particularly glad that these lovely children are here today to hear that speech. Not only was it authentic frontier gibberish, it expressed a courage little seen in this day and age.
Hey, mister, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a feller in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. It broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house with me.
Hey, Joey.
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing much better.
Now, I have to confess something to you.
All right.
I was on a great radio show. It's a show everybody should listen to, especially when they're in that Mobile, Baldwin County area.
Oh, yeah?
I was on the Jeff Poor show.
I'm familiar with it.
And he was asking, is it a slow news day? And I did something I feel like I should confess to you.
What'd you do?
He asked about, how slow is the news day? I brought up you mentioning multiple people might have written Shakespeare, but I referred to you as, my fat co-host, Eddie. And so I apologize for calling you fat. Because if folks can look at the live stream, Joey Clark Live on YouTube, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
I'm pretty chubby, too.
I mean, it's fine to call somebody chubby and thick, but when you call them fat, Joey, that is kind of crossing the line.
Well, I apologize.
Especially in today's time.
I wanted to clear the air.
I think I'll have to go to HR.
Wanted to clear the air. But, speaking of Jeff Poor, we've got him on the line here. Of course, the host of the Jeff Poor Show, as well as editor-in-chief there at 1819 News. How are you this afternoon, Jeff?
I'm doing well, Joey. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and thank you for humoring me. I had to apologize to my chubby co-host here.
There you go. It's much better.
So when it comes to, let's have some fun with this. Do you think Bud Light and UFC teaming together is going to bring back Bud Light?
They got to try something, right? Like, what else do they have to lose here?
Right. Good point.
That's true.
If you're Bud Light and you're trying to stop this uncontrollable spiral, don't you start investing or putting your marketing dollars toward UFC and NASCAR or wherever else, places like that, to make you seem like you're a manly beer?
Got to do something.
Probably the right move, and maybe you get some of the big stars drinking it after a match or something. Yeah, it might help. But it just seems
they got to do something there.
Like the Dylan Mulvaney thing just isn't. It's a bad taste in people's mouths still.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be bikinis and good times.
Spuds McKenzie.
Guys guys doing dumb like guy things, and now this is like just about everything in America is that way.
Yeah, it's all got to be the cult of diversity and inclusion and equity, even when it comes to your beer, your branded beer.
Well, here's the thing, Joey. Like, at what point did marketing in America become a big virtue signaling exercise versus just getting product sold, getting product out the door? Because I feel like so much of what Madison Avenue does, it is this political virtue signaling. And they want a brand that is that seems friendly to all these social causes. But I tell you, I really like stressed out over this more than I should, because you watch like cable news, like for example, Fox News, by far and away the biggest ratings getter, but they have terrible advertisers. They have the MyPillow guy. They have and you look at CNN and MSNBC, and they get all the high dollar, like Fortune 500 companies, all the pharmaceuticals and whatnot, the national chains advertise on these stations, and you're like, okay, well, what gives here? Why are people that make marketing decisions on Wall Street, why are they gravitating toward all these left of center things? So like, and here's the only thing I can come up with. And not that I think there's a lot of left-wing orthodoxy that's in these corporate boardrooms. I just think that's a reality. But I don't know that that's necessarily driving it. But like, there's like a Pew study that just came out, and then it found that like 1 out of every 4 Gen Zers identifies as one of the alphabet LGBTQ people.
Wow.
And yeah, so think about that for a moment. And like, while Gen Z is a small subsection of society at large, the demo, you always hear people talk about the demo, right? Mm-hmm. The demo, when people are making decisions about their purchases and what brand they're going to be loyal to for the rest of their life. And that's why they target the demo. Could this just be a product of what's going on in that age group, in the culture? And that's why Bud Light does like the weird Dylan Mulvaney TikTok thing, or whatever. But that they think that that's where marketing decisions are being made by these Gen Zers coming up that identify as really radically left of center compared to the entire mainstream society.
Well, and following up on that, I wonder how many of these kids are going to get about my age, 30-something, or it might take longer, 40s or 50s, and they realize I made a huge mistake. Now, everybody, I think, kind of can go through that in life. I don't know too many people who don't have a few little regrets. But I think these kids have been led astray and been sold a bill of goods. And, I mean, the rude question is, it's amazing that a quarter of Gen Zers are just born this way. Or maybe there's something else going on here where it's sort of the social cool thing to do.
Well, I think so. But there's a price to pay here, right? Two fronts. Number one, I think, like you said, a lot of these guys who have these beliefs, they age out of it, and then they realize, wow, I was really stupid back then, because that's what most people do. Maybe you're a little left, a little soft on your politics, or you're radical about something. Right. In my case, I was like radically right, and you kind of realize, well, the world's not really that way. But for a lot of people, they go through their liberal hippy-dippy phase when they're at a certain age. And then they age out of it, they grow out of it, they realize how the world really works. But in the meantime, while Anheuser-Busch, while Pfizer, while Procter & Gamble, while whatever the Kellogg cereals, whatever brand you see at the grocery store when you go down the aisle, Tide detergent is trying to force this politics down our throats because they think that's where people are right now. I think does have an impact on the society at large, because it by nature of just trying to woo the Gen Zers, they're actually, I think, bringing the culture along with it. Hollywood, Washington, D.C., they're bringing it along with it to be more left of center. See this weird, like, Wall Street-led coalition that is pushing the politics in America to the left.
Yeah, and I hope something's got to give here. And what the Bud Light thing was a breakthrough. It was kind of amazing to see how that spread like wildfire. And, I was parking at my gym the other day. It's right next to kind of a shoddy gas station. but there was a Bud Light representative out there, and he looked like a sad puppy. I wanted to give him a $5 bill. And I do genuinely feel bad for the lower level distributors or the local distributors. Like I know Bama Budweiser put something out. So maybe, you can, through the magic of Dana White, I wonder if that crosses over into their sort of professional wrestling stuff too. It could rehabilitate them to a degree.
They got to do something. Like I said, they owe it to their shareholders to try to rescue themselves out of the spiral, Joey. And that I think this is as good as anything. I mean, like, let's say they fired a lot of those executives in their marketing department, and they brought in new guys. But if you are in charge of marketing for Anheuser-Busch, primarily for Bud Light, and you're trying to save that brand, what do you do right now?
Right. Well, and shifting gears, I'm seeing on the TV here in the studio that Mr. Johnson has 57 votes and Jeffries has 53, and now people are applauding. It looks like somebody who was in a no camp is just voted for Johnson. So they might have this thing.
I think they got it, and it's now coming around to where they that, because I felt pretty optimistic, especially yesterday, in that, everybody's talking about that press conference where Virginia Fox sort of shut down that reporter. But in the frame, you have Virginia Fox, you have Elise Stefanik, and you have Lauren Boebert all together. And you kind of look at it and you're thinking, maybe this is where it's really, really now it's going to take place. It's going to happen. And Mike Johnson's just as good as anybody.
No, and I will say Congressman Johnson has impressed me in committee hearings. Like, he always seems to have a good command of the facts, and he presents it well. He's a good speaker. I mean, is there much we know about this guy and what we can expect of him?
Well, this is the candidate I think is the just right porridge, right? Like, not in lockstep with the Freedom Caucus, not a member, but Freedom Caucus adjacent. Right. The Freedom Caucus guys have made a lot of the institutionalists in the House of Representatives upset. And, well, why is that? Is it because they're radical right-wingers? No, it's because there's this prevailing sentiment in the Republican conference. A lot of the long-timers, they paid their dues. They went and took some tough votes. They didn't always want to vote this way, but they played by the rules. They raised money for the cause. They voted on what they should have voted on, and they didn't complain about it. Whereas these Freedom Caucus guys are just a group of malcontents, and they're fundraising on their own. They're not playing team ball. And that was the problem with Jim Jordan as far as like a Mike Rogers goes. That's why it was such a non-starter, because he looked at it like this, like, I can't go along with these guys because they don't play team ball and I don't trust them. And that's really what it was. It wasn't necessarily ideological, but you needed a guy that wasn't really necessarily a swamp creature, part of leadership, a Tom Emmer, but you didn't need a Jim Jordan or whoever else in the Freedom Caucus, Byron Donalds, that was mentioned. You needed, and Gary Palmer would have been a great candidate. He was kind of right there in the middle. But Mike Johnson is going to be, for better or for worse, I think the best shot Republicans have right now.
Now, before I let you go, I'd love to get a comment on the 2-year anniversary of 1819 News, where you're the editor-in-chief. I know you had a long conversation with Brian Dawson, the CEO there. I encourage folks to go watch that, listen to the 1819 News, the podcast, because Jeff and Brian lay out a lot of the victories and great things 1819's done. But kind of just sitting here looking back on, I don't know if you weren't there the whole 2 years, but the lion's share of it. What's the difference with 1819 News now blowing and going here in this state?
We had a real hard time early on getting people to even take us seriously. Oh, another startup. They come and go. But, and then God bless the people at the other websites. I know them. Some I used to be friends with, but not really very friendly with them anymore. But, I mean, it was what it was. It was like special interest money funding it, and they had – there's nothing – I'm not saying necessarily wrong with it, but you got to know where they're coming from, be it the power company or the dog tracks or the AA or whoever it may be. But that's why they existed, to promote their messaging out there and really get that going in the legislature. And we were thought of just to be another one of those, right? Like, who's backing these guys? Why? But I want people listening to know this about 1819 News, that we are really trying to do the right thing here. You may disagree with us and us being some wild-eyed true believers about conservative ideas that are applicable to the real world or whatever, but we really are trying to do better and you can disagree with us, but we're not like trying to promote some special interest and it's all pay to play. It's nothing like that, despite these rumors going around the Capitol and around Montgomery.
Yeah, and I could say I've seen this thing being built from the ground up, and what you say is true, very true. And it's also the opinion there at 1819 isn't quite as monolithic, I think, as some folks would like to make us out, our team out. We're all...
Yeah.
Right.
They don't think we're sophisticated, Joey. They don't think we're capable of coming up with opinions about... As if the distinguished member from Podunk, Alabama, is on this high intellectual plateau, but they think that there's somebody that's command and control. And it's like this everywhere I've ever worked, even in D.C., that there's one person who comes up with all the ideas and opinions and issues the mandate. And that's not the case at all. I mean, we're very, very, I wouldn't say ideological diverse. There's no lefties per se, but the walks of life on the spectrum of ideology on the right are very diverse.
And I enjoy being a part of it. If folks want to check out what you're thinking about, writing about, talking about, how can they do so?
1819 News, 1819news.com. Check that out. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I do a bunch of other things. I wear a bunch of hats. Twitter.com/Jeff_Poor.
Well, I appreciate the time as always, Jeff. We'll talk again soon.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Again, that's Jeff Poor, host of the Jeff Poor Show there in the Mobile area. Give it a listen. It's good more of an interview-based show, and he does a great job really getting the skinny from a lot of different folks. There's a lot of great contacts, and he's not quite as well. He'll get in some knockout dragouts with certain folks like Dale Jackson, but because they're friends. But I don't think he's quite as rude as we can be.
Oh, I didn't know he could be rude.
Well, we said that Mike Rogers looked like Liz Cheney in drag.
I thought we were stating facts.
I thought so too, but then I was told that's a little rude and insulting. I don't know. It got your attention, didn't it?
Well, I mean, the shoe fits or the toupee fits.
Or if the bra fits.
Got to put your bra on one arm at a time like everybody else does, Joey.
Johnson has 99 now. Jeffrey's 78.
79.
Now 79.
Why are you trying to write him out so quick, Joey?
Because I'm biased.
80, Joey. We're coming back.
He's coming back. What do you think of that lady up there who has to call the names?
Oh, good Lord.
The clerk. Now, she signed up for that job.
Yeah, yep.
But it's often the folks in Washington, they might hate my politics, but the people I have some of the most respect for and interest for are these sort of career folks that aren't like behind the scenes, but like the clerks that are there on the floor. They essentially run that place for the members of Congress.
So you respect her because she hadn't gone crazy and slapped the crap out of none of these?
Oh, yeah. No,
okay.
And I
agree then.
It's what we need more of. It's kind of what I wrote about this week. We need more of the human element. Yeah. I was saying it last week. You're not a Republican and you're not a Democrat. We can talk politics and political ideology and policy all the live long day. The only way you actually get this country humming again is you build up trust, not only in one another, but in the highest. Yeah. You might say to yourself, maybe you're a child of God. However you understand that. And you can reach out to people, and even when you disagree, at least have that basic foundation. And so when I see these folks, even the folks I vehemently disagree with, you got to remember there's a human being behind there. Now, some folks turn out to be demons, but
there is evil out there, Joey.
Most of the time, it's just a disagreement. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. This part of News and Views in the Afternoon brought to you by Pest Pro Services.
I saw their trucks on the way in today. I was passing one of their guys. I think they were heading to a neighborhood here in Montgomery. But it's cool because they've got their trucks wrapped.
Yeah.
So you can really see it. Got their phone number on there.
How about that brand new location, that new headquarters there on Main Street in Millbrook? Oh, absolutely beautiful. And it's a testament to, the work they do because they have had so much success helping folks deal with their pest problems. They're a great pest control company that they've grown leaps and bounds, adding more people to staff. They're like, we need a bigger building.
Yeah.
And it's just great to see that, and especially this weird time where a local entrepreneur who also is always giving back to the community. Yeah. I've never heard an ill word about Ashley. She's just wonderful.
Yeah.
And then they're hiring folks we now know, like East.
Yep.
We won't give his actual name, but East is now
He's over there, yeah. And it's a good company. I deal with them on the regular. In fact, I've got to call them about a new property we're picking up. And every time I do, they remember me. They know me by name. and I know how the system works. It's so easy. I give them just a little bit of info, and then their tech will call me when he's heading over there. Takes 5 minutes.
So whether you have an emergency or you want to do a specialty treatment like, say, preventing termites, or you want to make them your everyday pest control company, call up Pest Pro Services today. 265-9990. That's 265-9990. You can also always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. We're continuing to see the vote tallies come in. 111 for, that's 111 for Johnson, 91 for Jeffries. This is just, 112 for Johnson. Isn't it fun to see numbers go up?
92.
Oh, wow. The tallying keeps coming in. Because nobody has voted other yet. Here's where I think
that's surprising, because I
earlier
thought we'd see that.
We're not hearing this, but people, the whole Republican conference stood up and started applauding and doing a standing ovation, which I think means somebody who was kind of on the bubble or who last night might have been against Mike Johnson is now voted
come
for.
over. Oh.
Yeah, so this I
don't
think
see any presents either.
We're unified here. I think they're quite unified. Before we bring on Parker Snyder, he should be calling in here in a moment. There was one moment last night that was quite amazing.
Yeah?
It was after they got done voting in secret within their own conference.
Okay.
And they came out to the podium, and Johnson said, we're very united. And as Jeff Ford mentioned, you got Lauren Boebert and Elise Stefanik. You got all these different types of folks standing together. But this one reporter brings up what the left is clearly bringing up, that Mike Johnson was a key architect of the 2020 the coup.
Oh, really?
Coup. Actually, no, he led the amicus brief for the agreeing with the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton. Remember Paxton tried to go right to the Supreme Court? I wish the court had heard it, because I think he actually had a clear eye of what was, the cheating that went on.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnson liked the legal brief. But here is this little moment last night where a reporter, surrounded by all these diverse types of Republicans, was, let's just listen in together.
Mr. Johnson, you helped lead the efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Will you shut
up! Next question. 2024. Next question.
Is that Rosie in Congress?
Looked like British House of Parliament there for a second.
No, I love that. The one lady.
Shut up! 2024.
Wow. You helped try to overthrow the 2020 election. Oh. So I think that was a moment that signaled, actually, I think these folks are unified. So always fun to see. Let's hit this break.
Jeffries is over 100 now.
Oh, is it? And where's
103.
127 for Johnson?
We're still chasing.
All right. Well, y'all stay tuned. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon. It's true, rates aren't as low as they have been for the past couple of years, but there are still many homeowners that could benefit from refinancing their current mortgage. There are a lot of things in life that are out of our control, but your mortgage rate is not one of them. If you currently have an adjustable rate mortgage, then you owe it to yourself to give us a call.
Adjustable rate mortgages make sense for some people in stable markets, but in this wild, ever-changing rate environment, it only makes sense to secure a fixed interest rate. A fixed interest rate will give you the peace of mind that your rate is locked. Your rate will not be subject to change with the political and economic tides.
At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can personalize your term. We offer 8-year to 30-year mortgages and everything in between. Grab your mortgage statement and give us a call.
Call Alabama Home Mortgage, the #1 mortgage lender in Alabama, today at 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
Is your cell phone or iPad cracked, broken, or not working right? Don't let the big carrier stores sucker you into a new $1,100 device. Let XI Repair fix your device today. XI Repair fixes cell phones, computers, laptops, iPads, game consoles, drones, and more. Their certified technicians fix hundreds of devices every day. When your device needs care, call XI Repair, 334-777-1234, or Google XI Repair.
Chris Brockman here from The Rich Eisen Show. And do you want even more excitement on game day? Yeah, you do. It's time to get on Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Here's how it works. You pick 2 to 6 players. You choose more or less on their stats. If you get them right, you can win up to 25 times your cash. It's quick and it's easy to make your picks with fast and safe deposits and withdrawals. Prize Picks is the place to play. Prize Picks has awesome weekly promotions, and they're the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Watch your entry update in real time and continue the fun by making picks on the second half and fourth quarter stats. And right now, when you go to prizepicks.com/primetime, use code PRIMETIME for a 100% deposit match. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for more details.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the studio with me.
I'm here, man.
And let's go to the phones and talk to Parker Snyder.
All right.
Of 1819 News. Parker, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing good, Joey. How about you?
Pretty good.
Doing quite well. I feel all right today. And, well, let's get into some of the news that's on 1819news.com today. And one was, this District 55 special election, and it was potentially going to be the first transgender, or openly transgender, as I think the way it's been put, a member of the state legislature. But how did this turn out? How did that election turn out?
Yeah, so there was a person named Sylvia Swain who was running, and he had gotten second place for this district. And this is a district that hits south of the railroad in Birmingham. If your audience has been in Birmingham, it's a lot of apartments. a lot of yuppies who live in this area. But the district also goes over to Fairfield, which is not a yuppie area and quite different in demographics. And so you had a young black guy who was running against her and who had beaten her just a little bit in the initial race, and then they went to the primary, and he won 65% to 35%. But you could see the national media was making a big hay about this. Sylvia got a lot of stories about her, got the support from Daniel Hogg from the Parkland shooting in Florida and other people, and it was a big deal, and it was surprising because, we are Alabama, and Fairfield is not, an area that's known to be, they're Democrats, but they're not really that liberal over there. And so I wasn't super surprised to see this, but it would have been quite interesting if we were going to get a transgender member of the State House of Representatives.
Well, and to the person's credit, when I first saw the story yesterday and it had the two candidates side by side, I'm like, either way, if Travis is the transgender person, who did your work, man? But his name is Travis Hendricks. He won this thing,
yeah.
And this became a need for a special election because former state rep Fred Plump Jr., what a name, Mr. Plump, he pled guilty to conspiracy and obstruction of justice in a money siphoning scheme involving a public works fund in Jefferson County. I know that's your stomping grounds, Parker. Do you think Mr. Plump is the only one siphoning off, getting fat off the taxpayer dime?
I'm sure he's not. There's been other representatives who also been charged, and they're pleading not guilty, of course. But I'm sure that there's a group of them, and corruption is somewhat common in Alabama historically. People will say that it's cleaned up now. I find that a little hard to believe based on some of this reporting that we're having and just the stories that we're seeing out on the streets. But yeah, I think it's probably a good thing that we have a new person, a little bit younger, maybe a little bit less likely to just be in the old, way of doing things and the corruption. But, Montgomery can corrupt you itself, so we'll see what happens.
Now, keeping with this theme of Alabama politics, a good friend of mine, she was best friends with my mother, in full disclosure, former Representative Charlotte Meadows. She's not in Montgomery anymore. I think she's more in the Hoover area, I believe. But she's now decided to run for the State Board of Education. What are we seeing here, Parker?
Yeah, so she used to be a representative, as you mentioned, in the Montgomery area. And in 2020, when they redid those maps, it looked like she was drawn out of her district, or at least drawn into a very competitive district, because she had angered some people with her very pro-school choice positions. That's my take on it. It may not be for sure correct, but it seems like that's what it was happening. But so a Democrat won because the district became a little bit more Democratic than it used to be. And so Meadows is the board chair of Lead Academy. That's a Montgomery-based charter school, and she has been supportive of school choice for a very long time. She supported school choice before she was in the legislature, while she was in, and I'm sure she's going to be supporting it if she wins. And she's facing Stephanie Bell, who's been in the position since 1994, which is before I was born. So I think she will have Representative Meadows is not a 30-year-old. She's not a really young person, but she does have the young blood in terms of at least this position. So we'll see how she spends that. But it is amazing to see that some people can hold jobs for this long in state government.
Well, and like I said, I've known Charlotte saw me naked as a baby. Like when she had her first kid, I was my mom's first kid, and they were becoming new mothers at the same time. So, we go way, way back. And over the years, I've had plenty of opportunities to have conversations with Stephanie Bell. Seems that she's lovely, like as a person. But let's say that again, 1994? She's been there that long?
Yeah, it's 29 years at this point, at least. So.
Yeah, that would suggest maybe we just need a change. Especially when you look at education in the state. You obviously can't lay that, and I wouldn't lay that at the feet of Stephanie Bell, but man,
change has got to start somewhere, Joey.
Yeah. Oof. What's the Sam Cooke song?
Yeah, it doesn't say the same by keeping the same people in charge. It's not usually the best the best way to get something different.
Now, before I let you go, Parker, I was asking Jeff Poor about this, but I'd love your perspective. And, not to give all the details, but you're a big part of 1819 News. And so now that we just celebrated last week the 2-year anniversary, when you look at the effect in just those 2 years 1819's had on the state of Alabama, what say you?
I mean, it is quite amazing. I was around when we started it. I was at the API team, and we had trouble getting a lot of impact, just because legislatures don't always care that much about the nice little white paper that I spent a month writing. Right. But we decided to start 1819 News, and when I heard they were going to do that, I was like, I don't know if are we doing this? Is this real? But it's very real. And 2 years later, the impact that, we've seen and just, bringing transparency to the state and just keeping people aware of what's actually going on and stories that other news organizations don't want to cover. The impact is beyond what I expected. And so I've been around Alabama politics for a while. I worked at API for 5 years, and some of the impact that we get every day, we would have celebrated as year, just like this is the best thing to happen in our entire organization. So it's really kind of changed my perspective of what an organization can have and how much impact a news company can have just by sharing the facts of what's going on.
Yeah, it's been fun for me to watch happening from the ground up too, and very, very impressive, and I'm glad to be playing a small part in all that. And if folks want to check out 1819 News or see what you're writing about, thinking about, how can they do so, Parker?
Yeah, they can visit 1819news.com, and as Joey mentioned, he is a part of it. He actually is a columnist and does other stuff with us, so make sure you read his stuff as well. Well,
appreciate you, man, and we'll talk again soon.
Appreciate it.
And that's Parker Snyder of 1819 News. Where are we on the votes?
198, 182.
So nobody has voted, no Republican so far, with 198 votes in, and they need 217.
Right.
No Republican has voted other or present yet.
Not yet.
That is a very good sign.
Makes you feel like they're ready to get on with the job,
Yeah.
They're ready to get on with spending the people's money.
Yeah,
been a few days are getting itchy.
Everybody all upset that we don't have a speaker, especially at a time like this. I'm like, it seems fine to me.
Right.
Like, it's kind of like I heard somebody calling into the earlier show. I think it was Clark made a fantastic point. It's kind of like having a government shutdown with the military still getting paid. Yeah. But it looks like Johnson is going to be the guy.
Yeah, it looks like at 201, 202, 187.
Well, unless there's some big surprise. All right. Well, good for Mike Johnson of Louisiana. We'll have more on him coming up. For the break, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And they're at River Region Contracting. Well, they're the premier roofing contractor in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's an asphalt or a metal roof, you should have that inspected every 3 to 5 years for basic preventative maintenance.
Certainly.
What the manufacturers say, like asphalt shingles will only last 12 to 18 years without an inspection.
Right.
You noticed with your metal roof, right, you had like seals.
Yeah, those little grommets that are in the screws were getting dried out, much like they told me it would, and it was about time. Although there were more than I thought there would be.
All right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the great news. When you call up River Region Contracting at 356-8635, you're not on the hook.
No.
So here's what I mean. Their inspections and their estimates are free.
Absolutely free.
Always free. And they're a team of insurance specialists. Mm-hmm. So if they do find a roof problem, they look over it and they go, oh, no. But they can walk you through that claims process with the insurance company. So it's going to be a swift and easy experience. Some might even say pleasurable, which is not a common thing you hear with insurance claims. They're that good there at River Region Contracting. So, again, give Todd Clark and his team a call today. They are the premier roofing contractor here in the area. 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell Todd and the team that Joey and Eddie from News and Views.
He's making a comeback
in the afternoon.
Jefferson's only down by 6.
Now 7.
Yeah, but he was 20 a while ago. We just had a run.
Okay, Eddie, I don't mean to be mean because I can be rude unintentionally, but
here we go.
You're saying Jeffries is making a comeback?
He was.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
He was losing?
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
He was losing. Then all of a sudden he had a run of 2, then 3, then 4, then he was only down by 10. Now he's only down by 7.
Wow, it looks like Johnson's got this thing. We'll see.
Joey Clark.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Next contestant.
Honey, you look confused. What's wrong?
I'm having a hard time remembering to take my medications like I'm supposed to. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to worry you.
I'm glad you told me, because I heard that Adams Drugs has a medicine on time service that will package your monthly medications and make them easier to manage. Our neighbors, Bill and Leslie, mentioned the other day that they use Adams and how they have made it so easy for them to manage their medications.
Do you think we can call Adams Drugs or go by there and see if they can help me? I don't want to get to the point where you have to put me into an assisted living home.
Why don't you get your medications together right now, and let's go down to Adams and talk to the pharmacist.
How much does the medicine on time service cost?
I asked Bill that same question, and he told me it's a free service for Adams customers.
Free? Wow, I'm feeling really good about this already. Let me grab my meds list.
Call Adams Drugs Medicine on Time for your pharmacist consultation. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for more information on our Medicine on Time packaging service.
I'm going to pause our commercials here, folks, because I think this is about to happen
Wilson
live here.
of Florida.
Let's go to what's happening on the House floor.
Jeffries. Wilson of South Carolina. Johnson. Whitman. Johnson. Womack.
Wow. Mike Johnson. He is, in fact, folks, going to be Speaker of the House. Wow. We'll be right back.
The Tierce family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The holiday season is quickly approaching, and what better way to spread joy than by giving back to those in need? We're calling on all of you, our generous listeners, to make this holiday season extra special for those who might be struggling. Join us for our annual holiday food drive benefiting the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. It's simple. Just gather those non-perishable food items like canned goods, pasta, rice from your pantry, and drop them off at any of our convenient sponsor locations across the river region. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can feed families in need this holiday season. Starting October 30th, bring your donations to ASC Credit Union, Ask Telemarketing, GFL Environmental, or Pershing's Chiropractic Clinic. Donate what you can. It's Blue Water Broadcasting's annual holiday food drive.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. No big surprises in our forecast right on through the upcoming weekend, the last weekend in October. Still very comfortable today with above normal temperatures. We're up to about 82 for a high today, 84 tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies both days, mainly clear and mild tonight, overnight low 61. Then for Friday and Saturday, high both days right around 84. Still dry, more sun, and mid-80s on Sunday. The search for raindrops continues. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At CB&S Bank, we've been meeting the needs of our customers since 1906. Need help setting up new business goals? Our line of commercial loans can help you achieve them. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. And it's official, folks. Mike Johnson of Louisiana. Going to be the brand new Speaker of the House. And it looks like not a single Republican so far voted against him.
That's what it looks like.
None voted for anybody else, none voted present. So when they said last night, there was a vibe to that press conference last night. When they said we're united, it came across as true. You know, you have a feeling like who knows in this game, especially
Right.
from this humble perch we sit and broadcast from. But it felt like, yeah, they're tired of all the. Also, I think they got really tired of all the bombs being thrown at them from the other side.
I think so. And most of them, but they were ridiculous.
Well, and it is ridiculous because it's like y'all have plunged the House into chaos. It's like y'all are the ones who voted with the 8 Republicans
Right.
to do this.
Right.
So it's just more gamesmanship that continues. But, well, we'll see if Mike Johnson's going to give a speech or something.
I would think he would.
Speech. Hopefully it's better than Kevin McCarthy talking about going to the old legislative building and saying...
I like to do it at night when people aren't around.
Yeah.
Kind of creeped me out from day one there.
And it's good to have a speaker from the South, from Louisiana. A lot different than Louisiana than...
It's not corrupt at all.
Right. Now, there was a moment, I wonder if I could find this real quick, where Senator John Kennedy went on the floor, and he went on a heck of a rant about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and new rules they had issued for small banks lending to small business.
Yeah. Oh,
and how it used to be the questions were basic questions like...
Can you pay me back?
It was like, what's your revenue? Historical and expected revenue.
Right.
Like, how many employees you got? Like, basic questions about the business. Should I give this thing a loan?
Right.
Well, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and Kennedy just listed, you have to ask what sex they are?
Why? What's that have to do with anything?
Yeah, so he played it out. He's like, imagine, folks, small town banker. Because I don't want to do this.
Right.
You know, some business owner comes in trying to get a loan. I don't want to do this, but the CFB or whatever, the Consumer Protection Bureau I have to ask. But are you gay? What in the world does that have to do with anything?
I can't ask you that on a job application. Why should I be able to ask you that?
For a loan.
Right. Right.
Wait, so you can't ask that on a job application?
Not when I used to hiring.
What if I'm trying to get a quota?
You just got to go with it. No. And again, I'm trying to get a loan. What does that have to do with my sex?
Right.
And how that's...
Wow. Well, it looks like Mike Johnson has it, folks. That's pretty impressive. Them come together finally. And appreciate seeing that. He's getting a standing ovation right now on the floor of the House of the Representatives. And, well,
that guy's going to be mad right there.
Oh, that Patrick, that
he's
McHenry
the gavel again.
Here, let's pull this up.
All right.
It's, if anything, history.
On committee to escort the Speaker-elect to the chair. The gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Scalise. The gentleman from Minnesota, Mr. Emmer. The gentlewoman from New York, Ms. Stefanik. The gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. Hudson. The gentleman from Alabama, Mr. Palmer. The gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. McClain. The gentleman from California, Mr. McCarthy. The gentleman from Florida, Mr. Dodds. The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Hearn. The gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Bergman. The gentlewoman from Washington, Mrs. Rogers. The gentleman from Texas, Mr. Arrington. The gentleman from Texas, Mr. Fallon. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Molinaro. The gentlewoman from Florida, Mrs. Carmack. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Jeffries. The gentlewoman from Massachusetts, Ms. Clark. The gentleman from California,
Now they're just
Mr.
doing
Aguilar.
Roll call or something.
Right.
I don't know.
I know there's procedure. And
just. Oh, now Biden is speaking live, just as Johnson is elected Speaker. And I hear this is probably what he say. He's super duper ultra mega. Mike Johnson is. So yeah, that's what Drudge reported on. They said he's mega maga.
Mega.
Mike Johnson is mega maga. Which makes me go, that sounds like a great anime.
We'll see. I just mega maga.
He's mega maga with his robot exoskeleton. He's always supporting Trump.
Then if that's the case, how do you get in?
Well, here's to give you an example.
Mega
maga.
Uniparty.
Ultra maga.
Uniparty.
Super duper maga. AOC had this to say about Mike Johnson.
Oh.
You know the clip where the lady was saying, "Shut up."
Yes. Barbara Bush there?
This is AOC's quote post about this. Introducing extremist GOP speaker nominee Mike Johnson. He was a key architect of the January 6th strategy to overturn the U.S. election. Here he is leading a crowd that's booing and telling a congressional correspondent to shut up.
Well, dang, he's got my vote.
When asking about it. Y'all need to stop making him sound so awesome.
Right. I can only take so much, Joey.
Right. Johnson is going to be the Speaker of the House. What should you know about him, folks?
He's from Louisiana, the least corrupted state in all of the United States.
So his background, he's only 51.
All right.
So he's younger
guy.
than you.
Yeah, he's a younger guy.
What, are you going to be 60 soon?
50, yeah, soon. Like, I don't know, a couple years if I make it that far.
I thought it was this year you're going to turn 60 because you look great, man.
I've been working out.
Really?
No. Been up and down the ladder. That's all I've been doing.
He's been a member of the House of Representatives since only 2016, currently serving his fourth term in the House. He represents Louisiana's 4th Congressional District, which includes nearly 760,000 residents, won his seat with the largest margin of victory in his region in more than 50 years. So it does suggest
Popular
this guy.
spot.
Now, and I don't know this guy, but I recognize him because he is, when you see him in committee hearings, you're like, who's that? He exudes confidence. He's well-spoken. Seems very intelligent.
Okay.
All these things.
Joey likes him.
No, I like the way he carries himself. Now, could he disappoint all of us? Yeah, of course.
Well, he is a politician, is he not?
Of course.
All right.
But, I love all these adults who are like, everything should always work out the way I want it to.
What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that, Joey?
Do you apply that to anything else in your life or just politics?
Everything. I mean, it doesn't work out, but I get really upset when it doesn't.
So he earned a bachelor's degree and then a law degree from LSU and spent 20 years practicing constitutional law. Okay, this is why I like him.
There you go.
You can tell, yeah.
Nerd, he's a nerd.
He served in the Louisiana legislature for about 2 years, and he has a wife named Kelly Johnson. Been married since 1999, and they have 4 children. So where does he fit in the GOP landscape?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Axios. Well, he's, let
me ask you this. Was he one of the top 5 that McCarthy wanted to replace himself with? Was he in that group?
I don't know, actually. I don't remember his name being put in that list. But he has a good relationship with Trump. The reason the left hates him is he
Mega MAGA?
He's Mega MAGA. We must stop the Mega MAGA forces from overrunning our country.
That's all I see. That's all I see, man.
Hey, progressives, rest easy. The Mega MAGA forces ain't going to overrun your country. Hey, and also, y'all ain't going to win all out either. Again,
what?
Maybe we could all grow up a little bit and realize that we ain't going to get everything we want. And there might have been, just saying, some discrepancies, some cheating going on there in the 2020 election.
Oh.
But it was a pandemic. We had to change the rules unconstitutionally.
I didn't know we were allowed to talk about that. Some people are going to jail for that, Joey. It was a good election. All good. I don't have that kind of Trump money.
You're not Eddie Bader.
Just telling you.
You look like him, but you are not. You're a clone.
I looked at my bank account today.
I was wondering why you look skinnier than usual. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Kusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. House Republicans appear to finally coalesce around a Speaker nominee after Representative Mike Johnson of Louisiana won the conference's nod last night, making him the fourth GOP lawmaker to be nominated.
Johnson's nomination capped off a hectic day, but one that ended with House Republicans appearing to finally unite around a Speaker nominee. In an internal roll call validation vote for Johnson, all but 3 GOP members who voted present said they could vote for Johnson for Speaker on the House floor, while at least a dozen members were absent, putting him under the 217 vote threshold in the room. Johnson signaled optimism that he would win their support too.
That is Edwin Mora reporting. It's been mostly negative for the major indexes on Wall Street so far today. The Dow right now down by about 12 points at 33,129. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word FAITH to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. No big surprises in our forecast right on through the upcoming weekend, the last weekend in October. Still very comfortable today with above normal temperatures. We're up to about 82 for a high today, 84 tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies both days, mainly clear and mild tonight, overnight low 61. Then for Friday and Saturday, high both days right around 84. Still dry, more sun, and mid-80s on Sunday. The search for raindrops continues. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At ASE Credit Union, financing your next adventure is easier than ever with rates as low as 5.25%. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union, your life, your goals, your ASE.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A boy is fighting for his life after a Tuesday morning shooting. The juvenile male victim suffered a life-threatening gunshot wound in the 3500 block of Carter Hill Road between McGee Road and Jag High School. He was taken to the hospital for treatment. Another shooting in Montgomery occurred early Monday morning. A man was shot in the 1900 block of Gibbs Drive, taken to the hospital for treatment with what are believed to be non-life-threatening injuries. Motive and suspects unknown. State troopers attempted to stop 26-year-old DeSanko Smith's vehicle for speeding on I-85 early Tuesday morning. Smith refused to stop and led troopers on a chase through Montgomery that finally ended near Forest Avenue. Smith was arrested and charged with a series of traffic violations along with an outstanding felony warrant. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. an equal housing lender.
At AFS Foundation and Waterproofing Specialists, we work on a lot of neighborhood homes, and we're proud to share some of what our customers have said about us.
I was having problems with water in my crawl space during heavy rains. I was concerned about mold and the air my family was breathing. I'm so happy I called. The problem was fixed, and I'm not stressed anymore.
AFS can keep your home and family safe. Visit afsrepair.com to book your free inspection. That's afsrepair.com.
There are two types of drivers in the world: people who own a vehicle or boat and people who love them. If you love your vehicle and boat, treat it like you do by contacting the Works Auto Detail. Kyle will come to you, leaving your vehicle and boat looking better than ever. With 20 years of detailing experience, the Works Auto Detail offers mobile detailing, paint correction, and ceramic coating services. Ask about the 10% discount for all military, first responders, and teachers. Check out the Works Auto Detail with an X online at theworksautodetail.com, on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey, this is Tammy at Mama's, and don't forget, we're still having those wonderful mountain-grown tomatoes at Mama's Produce. We also got your sweet potatoes, bacon potatoes, red creamer potatoes, still getting fresh okra in. It's amazing, but it is the best okra you will find. Fresh, local-grown squash. We've got sausages, they're back, cheeses and butters. Don't forget, we also started with some gift ideas. So check us out on Facebook. Come see us, 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville.
Everybody loves Mamas.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. That's 272-9228. You know, Eddie, I dropped the ball a little bit.
What'd you do now?
I left out a crucial detail when it comes to Mike Johnson. Was just reminded of it. Liz Cheney and her team, Eddie.
Yeah.
They just put out a video. Old videos, in fact.
Okay.
Actually, out of respect here, let's bring up a photo of Liz Cheney.
It's going to be a whole lot different than what I'm looking at?
I don't think so. Hold on here.
Okay.
Yeah, there's Liz Cheney.
Yeah, that's that.
And anyway,
that's
Liz,
the Liz that I remember.
That's accurate, right? That's how she looks. And Joey Clark Live on YouTube, folks.
Like and subscribe.
Joey Clark Live on YouTube. But Liz Cheney's team says that Johnson's involvement in the whole January 6th thing was, they called him the most important architect of the Electoral College objections, according to NBC News.
I see.
So if you respect that lady who's on the live stream screen right now, Liz Cheney, maybe you don't like Mike Johnson. Or it could be that the Republicans voted unanimously, and Liz Cheney lost her seat for good reason.
Yep.
Because they were tired of her grandstanding that came across as way too convenient, not actually principled.
Bitter. Party of one.
And she's still holding out that she's going to run for president.
Let her run. Let her
pay
away that money and all the donors' money. Go ahead.
I just don't get it. But let's go to Larry. Hey, Larry.
Hey, guys. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Larry.
For those of you people that really don't know Mike Johnson very well, we've got a good one. He's going to be a very strong conservative voice. Even before the speaker race kind of blew up, he was very adamant on the record saying, we're not doing continuing resolutions anymore. We're going to do individual spending bills and do this right.
I like that.
Here.
A lot of people, from what I've read about him, a lot of people compare him to Jim Jordan, that he's basically almost identical in his beliefs to Jim Jordan, member of the Freedom Caucus. He just chose not to be as public about a lot of the stands that he makes, not trying to look out, find the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
I did have one question for y'all because I didn't see the live vote. I was listening to it live with y'all. did every Republican vote for him? Because I figured they may have one, like, holding Jamal Bolden away from the fire alarm.
No, the final number came out to 220-209, and I think that's no vote for others,
No presents.
No presents.
Okay, well, evidently they put somebody on ballot.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Right. You're on Bowman watch, and you get the to a nunnery,
Right.
Lauren Boebert. Like, these women are out of control.
You know you like him that way.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
I'm just. Anyway, I appreciate it, Larry, because I think Mike Johnson is a good pick. I'm very happy, and I think, thank you, I'll say this, thank you, Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
I think this was, again, a healthy exercise that official Washington hated, the corporate press hated.
Oh, they did.
Especially like Sean Hannity, Mark Levin. Like, you old talkers are just old. I respect you, but I'm losing it by the day.
Yeah.
But I think we've got a better speaker now.
Yep, and for those that are hand-wringing about it took so many votes, McCarthy went in after 14 votes. We did it a lot faster this time.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
So I'm happy to see this change. And now what are they showing? Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister of Australia. Australia. Anyway, I appreciate the call, Larry.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, I guess he's meeting with Biden at the White House
Poor
today.
guy. Poor guy.
Australia's a strange place.
Very.
Man.
Very. Because you remember during COVID how we thought Australia was just like America 2.0, but then we found out that they had restrictions that you and me nobody would even stand for. At the same time, everything over there will kill you. Every animal, every insect, every snake, everything will kill you.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I saw a great, last night going down the YouTube rabbit hole, great old clip of Robin Williams on with Craig Ferguson.
Oh, yeah?
My favorite, still to this day, late night host. And Robin Williams said he got in trouble with Australia because he called them, like, the rednecks of English-speaking world.
Oh.
And the Australian said, oh, no, we're nothing like those, rednecks in Alabama, which made the people in Alabama mad.
Whoa.
And Robin Williams is like, wait, did I start a fight between Alabama and Australia?
I'm going to have to look into that, Joey.
But actually, if you combine the southern accent like this, and then you combine that with a posh British accent, Australia.
I don't know, man. Them Australians, especially the further out back they seem to go, the stronger their accent is, more like a redneck. I got to be honest.
And then you get the natives there too, like in the islanders and stuff. Like, it's a weird mix.
Yeah, very.
I'd
weird.
love to visit, stay away from all the poisonous creatures.
It takes forever to get there, though. That's
Right.
the thing. It'd be.
Yeah, but we keep talking about we'll go to Tokyo, we'll go to
I still wanna
Japan,
go to Tokyo.
And then it would be cool as long as they get rid of that horrendous woman, this execrable woman.
Who that?
Jacinda something, the New Zealand Prime Minister.
Yeah, she is awful.
Oh,
she's
awful.
Is she on strike? One of them went on strike the other day.
Anyway, she if she's gone, that's where they shot Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, New Zealand. I had some friends of
New
mine went there on
Zealand
their
would be amazing.
honeymoon. They loved it.
And then we'll hit up Australia.
We're already over there.
Yeah, and then we could Indonesia, or I don't think we get along with folks there.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, maybe we will.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
No, we should just drop what we're doing. You'll drop your real estate business.
I'm down. Let's go.
We'll drop the radio
good
show.
time to do that.
Maybe we can do missives back to the folks of Alabama.
Sure.
Let's just go travel the world.
I'm all about it, man. Do like Henry Rollins did, man.
And then we're going to end up like dead. We're going to go some backwood area in Vietnam and not end up alive.
You're a book guy. Somebody will write our story.
Right.
There you go.
They wanted a little adventure, and they got it. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health, well, they're reinventing men's health care here in the River region. Especially guys, if you're out there and you're feeling run down, sluggish, you just don't feel like you used to. In fact, you're kind of haunted by past memories of yourself, your younger self, where you could go all night, all day without petering out. Well, this could be a sign, especially if it's a combination of physical tiredness and also like mental listlessness. Like you're not good mentally or physically, including no sex drive. Well, it could be low testosterone.
Could be.
Here's the good news. At Montgomery Men's Health, for only $99, it's a quick blood draw. You can know your testosterone numbers and at the same time get a PSA score, which is a great marker for prostate health.
Exactly.
And if you do, in fact, have low T, they have treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health that can truly change your life. Most men after these treatments experience higher energy, physically as well as mentally.
That's right.
They're noticing better gains in the gym.
Brother.
Brother, I can't
The only reason you go to the gym, right? You want to see those games.
My deadlift doubled, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns. You might even notice an increased sex drive.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, Bubba.
Nothing wrong with increased libido at all.
Nope.
So give Montgomery Men's Health a call today. 440-3663. That's 440-3663. And be sure to tell those fine folks there at Montgomery Men's Health that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. 272-9228. Not often that I read somebody else's op-ed from 1819.
Yeah.
But this one caught my attention. He just started writing for him, I think, a few months ago. His name is Talmadge Butts.
Okay.
And Talmadge Butts, here's the headline, writes, Why the Founders May Have Supported a 1,700-member House of Representatives.
Good Lord.
I agree with this.
Really?
I completely agree with this. And it would make the House even more fun.
I got to pay 1,700 salaries?
But right now, your representation isn't that great.
I'd rather work on commission anyway.
Like, we know Barry Moore, and it's mostly, though, because of the show.
Yeah.
Like, if we're just Joey and Eddie in this the 2nd District, you might know Barry, you might not.
Yeah, but he's the kind of guy, if you wanted to get to know him, you can go wherever he's at, yeah.
But when you're, say, Mike Johnson, representing 760,000 people, you're not going to know all of them. Even if he wants to, he's not going to be able to take your call.
Oh, no.
So the idea is they've put a limit on how many members can be in the House. The founders designed, writes Talmadge Butts, for proportional representation. At the 1787 Constitutional Convention, the issue of proportional representation was so contentious that it was the only matter on which George Washington provided an opinion. Presiding over the convention, Washington objected to the initial proposal of 40,000 citizens per representative, suggesting the number be 30,000. Many of the founders were skeptical of the initial ratio as well. How could a mere 65 members of the House effectively represent 3.9 million people? James Madison summed up these concerns in Federalist Number 55. Quote, First, that so small a number of representatives will be an unsafe depositary of the public interest. Secondly, that they will not possess a proper knowledge of the local circumstances of their numerous constituents. Thirdly, that they will be taken from that class of citizens which will sympathize least with the feelings of the mass of the people and be most likely to aim at a permanent elevation of the few on the depression of the many. Fourthly, that defective as the numbers will be in the first instance, it will be more and more disproportionate by the increase of the people and the obstacles which will prevent a correspondent increase of the representatives. I just wanted to read that because I kind of like that old language. The way our guys used to write kind of was, I liked it. Formal, but to the point and purpose. And I think this is right, actually. We shouldn't be having representatives in the House of Representatives capped. It was capped, finally passed by Congress in 1929, the Permanent Apportionment Act, capping the House at 435 members, where it has remained for over 100 years. So allowing the House to become less and less representative as the population grows is a silent contributor to significant issues in the country. In fact, I think if you had such a massive House, you would probably get more chance for other parties to jump in. I think it would be a much more interesting system.
It'd be interesting, all right. Ooh.
And you'd have to do more coalition building in the House, and yeah, you'd probably have more gridlock, which to me is it's a good thing. This whole idea that we must govern, we must do a thing. Give me a break.
If it was only things that we deem necessary for them to do, I think most of us would be all right. It's because we allow them to do what they deem necessary.
Right.
I got a problem with it.
272-9228 if you want to jump in on the program. Now, just to preview this, and we'll come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
This report caught my eye from the Federalist. Here's the headline. DOJ subpoenaed phone and email logs of Hill staffers probing Crossfire hurricane malfeasance. To put it in other words, when the Congress started to look into the Russiagate hoax, especially how the FBI engaged Crossfire Hurricane, the DOJ, that same DOJ that was being looked into by Congress, was spying all their members and staffers.
That surprised you?
That surprised me.
Disappoint you, though.
But
and what are we going to do about that, Joey?
The gall to do this.
Not much they can do.
Well, this is why I kind of like a Vivek Ramaswamy. It's like, you're fired.
70%?
You're done.
See ya.
But he's the only one talking that way. Maybe Trump will come around to that, too. If he's not in prison. Though, if Trump's in jail, he's still going to run. And he actually, what's the quote Trump put out? We'll get to this as well.
What about sign language?
No, Trump said, I don't mind being Nelson Mandela. Wow. God love him. We don't deserve him. You take that however way you want. Like it's a bad thing or a good thing. But when it comes to Donald John Trump, we don't deserve him. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get into the conversation. Now, this part of the program brought to you by XI Repair. And they're at XI Repair, Jonathan Strange, and that great team over there. Greg, Kia, I met a new person over there.
Oh, yeah?
She's lovely, too. Tish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they really do great work. They've helped me out. They've helped you out. They've helped my grandfather. Didn't they help your mother?
They've helped my mother. They've helped probably 99% of all realtors here in town.
Right. They've helped a lot of our listening audience. XI Repair. Because when I went in there with my grandfather the other day and I met Tish.
Yeah.
I was like, anyway, did people come in here and say Joey and Eddie sent? Oh, yeah, all the time. Well, I'm Joey. So thank y'all for going by XI Repair, but it's not just out of y'all's kindness. The deal is XI Repair is just that good.
Yeah, they are.
So you can always call them at 777-1234 or go to xirepair.com, and we're talking about fixes to the smartphone of yours, whether it's a cracked screen or water damage, a battery not holding the charge.
Locked out of it, Joe.
Maybe you got a virus.
Yeah. Ooh, that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're like me, you need a battery.
Right.
You notice I'm always on charge here.
Yeah. You should go do that.
I should.
They can also work on desktop computers, laptop computers, top-end gaming consoles. They can even do data recovery.
That's where they're really good at, Joey.
As well as sell you brand new and refurbished equipment.
Yep.
So check them out today. Again, that's XI Repair. And be sure to tell that team over there that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. Coming back, we're going to get into this DOJ spying on Congress while Congress was investigating the DOJ. And we're also going to get into Trump saying, I don't mind being compared to Nelson Mandela. Have you ever heard of the Mandela effect of the Berenstein Bears? We'll be right back.
Joey Clark.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Pumpkins, pumpkins, pumpkins. Don't miss the annual Pumpkin Festival this weekend at Sweet Creek Farm Market. This year, it's bigger than ever. Bring your family for a day of fun for all ages. There will be an arts and crafts show with more than 50 vendors featuring Alabama-made products. The Pumpkin Festival at Sweet Creek Farm Market will have food trucks, bonfires, live music, and entertainment. The kids will love the petting zoo, face painting, pony rides, cake walks, and inflatables. And don't forget about the pumpkins, and more pumpkins. Come join in on the family fun. Look up Sweet Creek Farm Market on Facebook for all the details. Come celebrate fall at the annual Pumpkin Festival this Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4. Sweet Creek Farm Market, 2 miles south of Taylor Road on Highway 231 South. See you at Sweet Creek Farm Market at the Pumpkin Festival.
May I help you?
Well, howdy. I'm Bill the electrician. Come to wire up your new air compressors.
Oh, well, okay. Never seen an electrician pull up in a camo Jeep with deer antlers on the front.
Yeah, that 3 points of beauty, ain't it?
No matter what your electrician is driving, make sure it says Crosby Electric on the side. Crosby Electricians will take care of your electrical issues professionally and for a reasonable price.
Bill, you sure you know how to design these circuits?
Well, of course. And if I do get stuck, I got a secret weapon.
Oh, yeah?
YouTube.
Oh, boy.
Crosby Electric has been serving this area for over 50 years. We have the experience to do your job correctly.
Okay, let's try out these new air compressors.
Bill, you blew up my new compressors.
Yeah, sorry about that. Here, take my Jeep. It's yours.
What?
I'll just keep the horns, if that's okay.
Protect your property and yourself. Always call the experts at Crosby Electric or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometime.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back, folks. Now we're going to get to the DOJ spying. All right. We're going to get to Trump comparing himself to Nelson Mandela.
All right.
But here, we're a little bit behind what's happening live, but this is Speaker Mike Johnson, and you might as well hear a speaker speak,
might
right?
Well, right.
Let's listen in.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. First, a few words of gratitude. I want to thank Leader Jeffries. I do look forward to working with you on behalf of the American people. I know we see things from very different points of view, but I know that in your heart you love and care about this country and you want to do what's right. And so we're going to find common ground there, all right?
Well, the entire body like that.
I want to express my great thanks for our Speaker Emeritus, Kevin McCarthy.
Really?
Brown noses.
Yeah, but it's all they got, Eddie. That and all the millions of dollars of graft.
Yeah.
Kevin has dedicated over 2 decades of his life to selfless public service, 16 of those years in this House. And you would be hard-pressed to find anybody who loves this institution more or has contributed more to it. He is the reason we're in this majority today. His impact can never be overstated, and I want to thank him for his leadership, his friendship, and the selfless sacrifice that you and Judy have made for so many years. You helped build it, Kevin, and we owe you a great debt of gratitude. I want to thank the dedicated and overworked staff of this beleaguered House.
Oh, yeah, the folks I was kind of giving a hat tip to. Can we get to actual points, though? Here,
And sort of suddenly.
Skip ahead here.
But we're going to celebrate soon. She spent the last couple of weeks on her knees in prayer to the Lord, and she's a little worn out. We all are. I want to thank our children, Michael and Hannah and Abby and Jack and Will. All of our children sacrifice. All of them do, and we know that. And there's not a lot of perks to being a member of Congress's kid, right? And so I want to thank all of your families as well for what they endure and what they've had to endure for the last few weeks. We've been here a while. Yeah. I want to thank my faithful mother, Jeannie Johnson, who bore me at the age of 17. And my brothers, Chris and Josh, and my sister, Laura, and all their families, and all of our extended family. In Louisiana, family's a big deal, and we got a bunch of them. I especially want to thank all the extraordinary people of the great state of Louisiana. We have never had a Speaker of the House hail from our state, and so they've been lifting us up. I thank the people of Louisiana for the opportunity to serve you in Congress, and I'm humbled by your continuous support. We will make you proud. To my colleagues, I want to thank you all for the trust that you have instilled in me to lead us in this historic and unprecedented moment that we're in. The challenge before us is great, but the time for action is now, and I will not let you down.
Again, folks, if you're listening, this is the brand new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson of Louisiana.
I want to say to the American people, on behalf of all of us here, we hear you. We know the challenges you're facing. We know that there's a lot going on in our country, domestically and abroad, and we are ready to get to work again to solve those problems, and we will. Our mission here is to serve you well, to restore the people's faith in this House, in this great and essential institution. My dad, it was mentioned, my dad was a firefighter. He was an assistant chief in the fire department in my hometown of Shreveport, Louisiana, a little town in northwest Louisiana. On September 17, 1984, when I was 12 years old, he was critically burned and permanently disabled in the line of duty. All I ever wanted to be when I grew up was the chief of the fire department in Shreveport. But after the explosion on that fateful day, he nearly died, and it was a long road back, and it's changed all of our life trajectories. I'm the oldest of 4 kids, and my dad, he lived with pain all the rest of his life for decades more, and I lost my dad to cancer 3 days before I got elected to Congress, 3 days. And he wanted to be there at my election night so badly. I'm the first college graduate in my family. This was a big deal to him. And so it was several weeks after that. It was early 2017. It was my freshman term, and it fell to me to be in the rostrum one night to serve here as Speaker Pro Tem. I thought that was a big deal until I figured out that's what you do for freshmen late at night. And I think if my memory serves, Miss Jackson Lee was winding down one of her long, eloquent speeches.
Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas.
And not that I was not enraptured by her speech, but I looked up at the top of the chamber there, and I saw the face of Moses staring down. And I just felt in that moment the weight of this place, right? The history that is revered here and the future that we are called to forge. And I really was just kind of almost overwhelmed with emotion. It occurred to me in that moment, it had been several weeks, and I had not had an opportunity yet to grieve my dad's passing, and I just had this sense that somehow he knew. And I had tears come to my eyes, and I was standing here, and I'm wiping them away, and then it suddenly occurs to me, the late-night C-SPAN viewers are going to think something's very wrong with the new young congressman from Louisiana. It wasn't Sheila's speech. I'm sorry. I just knew in that moment that my dad, my father, would be proud of me, and I felt that he was. And I think all of our parents are proud of what we're called to do here. I think all the American people at one time had great pride in this institution, but right now, that's in jeopardy. And we have a challenge before us right now to rebuild and restore that trust. This is a beautiful country. It's the beauty of America that allows a firefighter's kid like me to come here and serve in this sacred chamber where great men and women have served before all of us and strive together to build and then preserve what Lincoln did refer to as the last best hope of man on earth. We stand at a very dangerous time. I'm stating the obvious. We all know that. The world is in turmoil. But a strong America is good for the entire world.
What do you think so far, Eddie?
All right.
We are the beacon of freedom, and we must preserve this grand experiment in self-governance. It still is. We're only 247 years into this grand experiment. We don't know how long it will last, but we do know that the founders told us to take good care of it. I want to tell all my colleagues here what I told the Republicans in that room last night. I don't believe there are any coincidences in a matter like this. I believe that Scripture, the Bible, is very clear. That God is the one that raises up those in authority. He raised up each of you, all of us. And I believe that God has ordained and allowed each one of us to be brought here for this specific moment in this time. This is my belief. I believe that each one of us has a huge responsibility today to use the gifts that God has given us to serve the extraordinary people of this great country, and they deserve it. And to ensure that our republic remains standing as the great beacon of light and hope and freedom in a world that desperately needs it.
Again, listening to the brand new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
It was in 1962 that our national motto, "In God We Trust," was adorned above this rostrum. And if you look at the little guide that they give tourists and constituents who come and visit the House, if you turn in there to about page 14 in the middle of that guide, it tells you the history of this. And it says very simply, these words were placed here above us. This motto was placed here as a rebuke of the Cold War era philosophy of the Soviet Union. That philosophy was Marxism and communism, which begins with the premise that there is no God. This is a critical distinction that is also articulated in our nation's birth certificate. We know the language well, the famous second paragraph that we used to have children memorize in school, and they don't do that so often anymore, but they should. G.K. Chesterton was the famous British philosopher and statesman, and he said one time, America is the only nation in the world that is founded upon a creed. And he said it's listed with almost theological lucidity in the Declaration of Independence. What is our creed? We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, not born equal, created equal. And they are endowed by the same inalienable rights, with the same inalienable rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. That is the creed that has animated our nation since its founding, that has made us the great nation that we are. And we're in a time of extraordinary crisis right now. And the world needs us to be strong. They need us to remember our creed and our admonition. Turmoil and violence have rocked the Middle East and Eastern Europe. We all know it. And tensions continue to build in the Indo-Pacific. The country demands strong leadership of this body, and we must not waver. Our nation's greatest ally in the Middle East is under attack. The first bill that I'm going to bring to this floor in just a little while will be in support of our dear friend Israel, and we're overdue in getting that done.
Gonna pause it there. His entire body's standing up. We got to hit a quick break here, but
there's a few of them that don't stand, I've noticed.
Well, maybe they got bad knees or something.
Oh, no.
But my sense of this guy, that was touching what he said about his father, really was.
Freeport, very familiar with that place.
And it's just a feeling. I mean, he could disappoint like anybody else. Again, we're not going to get 100% of what we want. Right. But I have a very good feeling about this guy. And I think this is an improvement of what was going on up there. But
we'll see.
We will see.
We'll see.
Indeed. 272-9228 if you have any comment or question.
So right now you're in agreement that he is better than nobody? You're okay with that?
Well, I knew there was... See, again, I don't get everything I want. I would prefer no speaker, no president.
Right.
Man, I know this sort of thing. But I get this is the system we got, and I'm only one guy. And
right.
So you still hope for the best.
There you go.
And for whatever reason, maybe it's I'm a fellow Southerner, I don't know. There's something about that guy who is now continuing to speak. The brand new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, Louisiana. I think we might be watching something good happen here.
Hope so. I sure hope so.
272-9228. Again, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage.
I was dealing with our good friends over there this morning. They are trying to help me with a VA loan. The rates are going up, but they were able to actually get a pretty decent rate for this lake home that we're trying to get for a VA client. And really, he's talked to probably 5 or 6 other lenders yesterday. She had the best rate by far.
By far?
By far. Not to mention the service. She just came in with the best rate by far. I said, wait till you start dealing with her. You're going to be blown away by her service.
Oh, yeah?
Madeline's great.
Folks, they've earned their reputation there at Alabama Home Mortgage, whether it's Madeline or Kim Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, Kim's the one who hired her, number one.
Smart
She's
lady.
been working there a while now.
Oh, yeah.
And they make a great
They do.
team. And so they'll actually be able to sit down with you, like Eddie was saying, not only get you the best possible deals, but also get to know you.
Yep.
And that's what you want, somebody you can trust when you're making probably the biggest financial decision in your life for most people.
You're exactly right, Joey.
So here's the deal. You can always call them at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. They can help you with a refinance deal, especially you veterans. They're VA home loan certified there at Alabama Home Mortgage. Or they can help you if you're looking to buy. From pre-approval all the way to closing day, each step in between, they're going to be able to help you out. And they're not going to be any surprises on closing day. They do things right, but they also do it with a certain Southern hospitality, I'll put it that way. Alabama Home Mortgage. Again, 567-4223. You can also apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
Joey Clark.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Actor portrayal based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of 2, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to Montgomery Men's Health. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough good about them. They took care of me, followed up, and made adjustments to make it happen even better. I even learned I had low testosterone, which they were also treating me for. And I have never felt better. If I were you and you're like me, I'd give them a call today at 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com. If you like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
Shaw's Garden Center and Landscaping will help keep your yard looking its best as the seasons change. Fall is the time to freshen up your pine straw beds. Shaw's has pine straw bales available at cost, only $4.50 each. Pumpkins, wheat straw, mums, sunflowers, and much more. Shaw's can help fight annoying insects with their pest products. With 50 years of experience, the pros at Shaw's Garden Center can offer advice and tips to help get you growing. Visit 3295 Wetumpka Highway in Montgomery or like them on Facebook.
Hello everyone, Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. No big surprises in our forecast right on through the upcoming weekend, the last weekend in October. Still very comfortable today with above normal temperatures. We're up to about 82 for a high today, 84 tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies both days, mainly clear and mild tonight, overnight low 61. Then for Friday and Saturday, high both days right around 84. Still dry, more sun, and mid-80s on Sunday. The search for raindrops continues. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Vader in the house. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It wasn't Lenin, it was Stalin. I'm sorry.
Stalin. Johnny Cash was the first to report to the States.
He was the first American to report to the States that Stalin had died. He was a radio operator in the Army.
That's crazy.
That podcast, I'm telling you. I'll send
Twisted
you a link.
History?
Twisted History. It will blow you. But let me go ahead and tell you, they talk like adults. They talk like adults on there. There's a little bit of harsh language once in a while.
I don't have a problem with that.
I know. Just
there
tell
are
me.
definitely days I wish we could be that way
Yeah.
on the air, and we can't, though. I get it.
I get it.
Yeah, there might be kids in the
Right.
car.
I totally
and
get that.
Other folks don't like it. And also, at the end of the day, I realize that's kind of a dude thing when it's just a dude hangout.
Oh, unless there's just chicks. Because just chicks.
Oh, they're grosser than men.
All day long, Joey.
Just nasty.
All day long. Mean.
Woo. And again, watching the old 2016 highlight reel, Hillary said something about it. Just, what a nasty woman.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind a nasty girl. 272-9228.
Miss Jackson.
But Mike Johnson is now officially been sworn in. He's now the new...
He's still talking.
Speaker of the House. Well, they just went to Scalise, who swore him in.
Oh, good deal.
One Louisiana to... What is it? Louisiana? Louisianian?
I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I feel like it's wrong, so I'm just not going to say nothing.
Because in Alabamians.
Alabamians.
Alabamers.
Bammers.
Yeah, Bammers. Yeah, but that's the football team.
Not necessarily. You ever meet some ignorant people? They're
Really?
also they're also known as Bammers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, the more you know, folks. 272-9228. Now, as I was mentioning earlier, while House and Senate oversight committees were investigating the Department of Justice and the FBI for their role in the Russia collusion hoax, that same DOJ subpoenaed the private phone and email logs of multiple congressional staffers, according to a FOIA request that just came out this Tuesday.
I'm not investigating you. You're investigating me. Wow. I don't get that.
The chutzpah.
Right.
I have to go to Yiddish.
Cojones.
The chutzpah. With extra to it.
I don't see. I don't know. People just got cojones like nobody's business.
The executive branch's targeting of staffers assisting with congressional oversight of the DOJ and FBI represents a dangerous intrusion into the legislative branch's functioning, and one that demands answers and an accounting. Yeah, no kidding. But here's the deal. I'm tired of, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We need an accounting. No, this is why, probably in the primary, I'm going to vote for Vivek Ramaswamy, and why I don't care if Trump makes him VP or not. I hope Trump hires him, though.
I want him to be part of the
implement
cabinet.
that plan he's got.
I so want him to be, but I don't know.
Because we need to take a wrecking ball
Yes.
to this fourth branch of government called the administrative state, because that's exactly what they do.
Do you think Vivek would take a job in his administration?
I think actually he would.
I
I don't think he wants to be VP.
Right.
I genuinely don't think he does. He said, the reason I don't want to be VP, I don't do well as number two. And actually, you see what happened with Mike Pence.
Yeah.
Like, they had a good relationship for a while, and then it kind of went sideways. But if, say, they hired him to be the point man on chief of staff, like all the hiring and firing decisions in that regard.
That'd be a really good one to have, buddy.
Yeah, and you need a wrecking ball taking to this administrative state because of stuff like this, because of abuses by the FBI over decades now. Because
and continuing abuses.
Abuses by the intelligence agency.
Continuing.
And then also for folks who say, well, we need a strong military, we need good intelligence.
We're all
stuff.
for that.
I think you're going to end up with a better outcome. What we need is a massive reframe of the country. And the beautiful thing is, even though you might not like change or want change, especially if you're getting paid to do certain things.
Change is scary.
A reframe it's not like we're going full anarcho-capitalist like Javier Milei in Argentina or going full Ron Paul by any means.
Coming after my gravy train?
But it's necessary. It's needed.
I agree.
Actually, we're due. This has happened a few times in American history. The Civil War, with FDR in particular. Like, there are times where a certain executive comes around and changes things up in a very big way.
That's what leadership does, man.
You know, in FDR's inaugural address, he said something to the effect of, you must be ready to give me the power of a general in war in order to get what we're doing done. Can you imagine if Trump said that? Or if Obama said that?
Okay.
People on the other side be freaking out.
Right, but I would rather Trump have it than FDR.
Right, but you see my point. It's like everybody acts like, oh, these tyrants, these dictators we have. It's like, no, actually, they're just in the mold of the first one, FDR, who kind of reconstituted all.
Plus, Joey, imagine being in that, just you as a human, you're in that position in life. At that point, you feel like you are king of the world. Nobody can tell you nothing.
Right. Well, especially FDR. He was a blue blood who had respect for the everyday person.
Right.
And never underestimate how I'm sitting here talking to a microphone right now. That was new back then. Hitler used it. FDR used it. A lot of people used it. But the way FDR used it, it was amazing. If you can put yourself in that mindset where you didn't have TV, you couldn't see things. You occasionally got to see a politician stop by, and you go see him, give a speech in person.
Right.
I've learned over these years, the radio is a very intimate format.
Definitely.
And very powerful one, especially at that time. So I see how FDR wielded it.
It's funny you say intimate, because I do meet so many people outside of radio that know me from the radio. And a lot of them turn into clients, but it's funny because they'll tell me up front, they'll put this disclosure out there. I feel like I know you so well. And it used to
I think people do.
Yeah, well, it used to kind of, just make me feel kind of funny. But I remember listening to the radio too as a kid. It's very intimate. It was me and that DJ. I didn't know there was 10 other million people there. It was a conversation him and I were having.
And the beautiful thing is this has now made a comeback, not necessarily terrestrial radio, though we're still going strong. I mean, like this podcasting world.
Oh,
it's
certainly.
Sort of this new.
Sure has.
I still continue to bet that the candidates that lean into the new media, I'm not going to vote for him in the general, but RFK Jr., he is going strong because of using new media, and Vivek Ramaswamy continues to have, I think, strong support out there because of his use of new media. I think it is the future.
Well, should we all be thanking Al Gore because he invented the internet?
Yeah. How about this? After that brilliant comment. Hopefully we get Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics on the other side of this break.
Joey Clark.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
The fall sale is on, and there's never been a better time to upgrade your floors. During Prattville Carpet's biggest sale of the year, find deep discounts on Mohawk flooring for every room in your home, plus interest-free financing with approved credit. Get new floors before the holidays with huge discounts. Visit PrattvilleCarpet.com or call 285-8117 today.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. We also have Eddie Bader in the studio here.
And the Hacienda.
And the Romex Angler is back at it with his fashion advice. He asked, Joey, did you get rid of your hats and T-shirts? No. You've been dressing up for like 2 weeks now. And you should have seen me this morning at the gym.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Is it because you're looking for a lady, or are you trying to show her you are an upper-class candidate? No, I think I'm just happier.
Yeah?
I'm making better decisions. Trying to get in the habit of making better decisions. And then Romex Angler goes on saying he's only, no, 30. I'm only 35. No, I'm going to turn 40 here. And he says he looks 42, but it's hard to turn 40 if you didn't get started until 1988. My toothbrush is older than Joey. Ew. Let's go to David.
Hey, David.
Hey, David.
Hey, how are you guys?
Doing good, David. How you doing?
Good, man. Hey, Ramaswamy, if either make him chief of staff or director of Homeland Security. I would love to see him personally throw Mayorkas out of his office and sit down in his chair.
Yeah, I think Ramaswamy would be fantastic as sort of your nuts and bolts guy to get it done. His vision is great. I watched it's for nerds, but it was a great long sit down with the Hudson Institute. Now, we've interviewed Arthur Herman, the historian from the Hudson Institute, and I love Arthur's books, but he's a little more hawkish, and Hudson in general is a little more hawkish. Like they're more in that Lindsey Graham camp, but they invited Vivek there to say, hey, we'll have a conversation. And it turned out to be a pretty amazing conversation of the back and forth, because these are not just like folks pounding the table at like Fox News. They're pretty sophisticated, say, geopolitical thinkers. And it was great to see Vivek show off and have the arguments with folks.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great intellectual debater. I mean, I love listening to him talk, even though I might not agree with everything he has to say. He makes you think by what he says, which I love that about him.
Well, and he keeps saying things that I've been saying for a few years, and I don't think it's because I'm all that great or that necessarily he's all that unique. It's that there is this new, younger generation and new political culture, mostly coming from the internet spaces, that has a very different point of view from folks who are maybe boomers. And I think it's a healthy thing to be putting out there on a national stage.
It is, but of course, you know, the Democrats and the national media try to suppress their voice as much as possible because they don't want, you know, that individual or individuals in the room debating, because obviously their point of view makes sense and just highlights the hypocrisy of the Democrats and the national media.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just
have
good.
A good one.
You too, David.
See you, David.
It's just good to see the millennial who used to be baby libertarians grow up a little bit. I'll put it that way.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, I decided. I made it official. Now, this is several months away. But it's going to be small. I'll ask if they're going to video it.
Okay.
But I will be moderating the Alabama Libertarian Party's presidential debate.
Excellent, Joey.
In February at their convention. And so I'm not sure exactly which candidates who are running for the Libertarian. I'm not even sure.
You're just going in blind?
I got
This
a lot
is so
of the.
Joey-like.
I know a few of the people. I've met them before. But yeah, I'm going to rise up to that opportunity. I thought, no, this will be good.
Excellent. Very proud of you, man.
I look forward to moderating that debate. And
what if they start to get violent?
Not the libertarians.
Yeah, you're right. Who am I kidding?
I mean, there might be that one guy who decides to get naked again. Remember that at the national convention?
You got a taser or anything ready for that, buddy?
Yeah, it's so the overlap is so funny because it's any fringe party, you're gonna
have
your ideology or beliefs aside of the party, you're gonna get fringe.
Oh, certainly
things going on, and so there are a lot of, let's say, libertines that sometimes surround the Libertarian Party. But like I said, folks, I disagree. But it takes all types in this world. We'll be right back after news. Hopefully, I have Michael Cohen.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The House is holding a floor vote to elect a new speaker after Republicans nominated Mike Johnson of Louisiana as their fourth nominee for the job. At this hour, the House is voting to elect Johnson as a possible one to ascend to the top job and a standoff that stretched on now for 3 weeks. The Louisiana Republican won his party's nomination last night. That was just hours after Majority Whip Tom Emmer of Minnesota was forced to withdraw from the race amid GOP opposition. Republicans hard at work today. Meanwhile, Hurricane Otis has ripped through Mexico's southern Pacific as a powerful Category 5 storm, dousing steep mountains and leaving a trail of damage in Acapulco before weakening. Photos and videos shared by local media after dawn broke today in Acapulco, showing walls of buildings ripped off and flooded hotel rooms. This is SRN News.
In a world where financial landscapes can change rapidly, safeguarding your savings and retirement accounts is paramount. Direct Bullion USA is more than just the #1 rated gold bullion dealer in America. We're your trusted partner in navigating the uncertainties of hyperinflation and political upheaval around the world. Direct Bullion USA can provide you with the knowledge and resources to fortify your financial stability and protect what matters most. Call us now at 888-787-GOLD. Precious metals like gold and silver have been a safe haven investment for hundreds of years. Get started when you call Direct Bullion USA at 888-787-4653 and get your free gold investing starter kit today. All it takes is one call to 888-787-GOLD. Take control of your retirement and protect your future with Direct Bullion USA. Call 888-787-4653. That's 888-787-GOLD.
Folks, let's go to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how are you this afternoon?
Hey, Joey, how are you?
Doing quite well, and I'm looking at the website here, thinkcohens.com, and let's talk about audio. Let's talk about some audio solutions that you might have there. I'd imagine you can still do sort of the traditional wired speakers and all that, but y'all have some pretty high-tech, up-to-date stuff too, right?
Oh, yeah. That's right. We sure do. One thing that's been really hot has been Sonos, because it's virtually wireless. I mean, you plug it into electricity. You may have to hook up one cable from your television to the sound bar, depending on what kind of system you're doing. But that's it. And then everything else just plugs into 110 volts, and it works.
All right, then. So, and, of course, y'all provide... those that aren't technically savvy, I'll provide setup and all that?
That's right. A lot of our customers do cash and carry, but we have a lot that want Michael Jackson to come out there and do the installation and set it up and put it on your network and help you with all the different apps or the different venues that you can stream music from. You know, some of them are free, some of them you have to pay for, like Spotify, Pandora, XM, Deezer, iHeartRadio. But, you get a much better experience if he sets it up.
Well, there you
but
go.
One thing that's really cool about Sonos right now is for 2 days, or maybe 3 days, October 27th, the 28th, and the 29th, Sonos is doing a deal where I can give you a 20% discount if you come in and buy it on those days. And that includes the ARC and the ERA 300s or the 100s, the Beam, the ARC with the sub. But there's a couple of combinations, but you'll always get the discount on the ARC and the sub. They don't do it on the ERAs, but it's part of a package that you have to buy to get the discount. But 20% discount, that's a tremendous savings on Sonos.
And give those dates again.
The 27th, 28th, and 29th of October.
Okay, well, coming right up, folks, because today's the 25th. So,
yeah, Friday, Saturday, and for us it would be Friday and Saturday.
Awesome. Well, folks, you got to get by there. Of course, you can always check things out at thinkcohens.com, as I do every day when we talk to Michael. But you can also call him at 277-8890. But there's no better way than stopping by in person. See that amazing showroom, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. You're open 9 to 6 today. On Saturday, what is it again?
9 to 4.
All right.
So come see us and let us help you make a right decision.
There you go.
Appreciate you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Again, that's Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Almost 65 plus years.
Yeah.
Of being in business. It's been a place people through the generations have stopped by.
For sure.
And it's because of the great product, but like a lot of our great sponsors, it's also, I think the main reason is the great service and attention to detail
no doubt.
in that regard.
No doubt.
We got to hit a quick break. We'll come back to Red Top and Joey from Prattville after this.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. No big surprises in our forecast right on through the upcoming weekend, the last weekend in October. Still very comfortable today with above normal temperatures. We're up to about 82 for a high today, 84 tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies both days, mainly clear and mild tonight, overnight low of 61. Then for Friday and Saturday, high both days right around 84. Still dry, more sun, and mid-80s on Sunday. The search for raindrops continues. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you once again for voting ASE the best credit union and best mortgage company in Central Alabama's Reader's Choice Awards. We're honored to serve our members for 69 years and counting.
ASE Credit Union, your life, your goals, your ASE.
1819 News.
A fire alert has now been issued effective immediately by the Alabama Forestry Commission. This fire alert applies to all 67 counties here in the state. 32 of the northern counties will not be given any burn permits. In the remaining 35 counties in the southern part of the state, some managed burns will be allowed with one-day permits. Anyone who burns without a permit is subject to misdemeanor charges. This latest fire alert comes after firefighters had to respond to 111 wildfires in the last 7 days, including one in Washington County that had 14 cars involved in crashes due to low visibility caused by the smoke. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Brian Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
A new nursing school is about to start up in the Dothan area. Jersey College is partnering with Flowers Hospital to create a training program for healthcare workers that is near to the hospital campus and will help with the market need. The new program at Jersey College will take 6 semesters for earning an associate degree in nursing. Classes are set to begin this coming January. Enrollment is already underway. Alabama is ranked as 39th in the nation when it comes to business tax climate. The ranking is for 2024 and comes from the Tax Foundation. Of the Southeast states, Florida ranked the highest, coming in at number 4. The Tax Foundation says the commonality for those states making it to the top 10 is having a simple, neutral, transparent, and pro-growth tax structure. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Did you know your homeowner's insurance doesn't cover termite treatment or damage? That's okay, because Pest Pro is here to protect your most costly investment. We are the only company in the River region with a Termidor HP2 injection unit. We bring the best and newest technology to your home. Call today for a free evaluation, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Looks like now the new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, giving another speech on the steps of the Capitol.
I took it outside.
Took it outside. Yeah, kind of recounting. A little through trouble, a little bit of character building. You know what? It's produced more strength and a lot of hope. Well, there you go.
All right.
We'll see. Hope's a dangerous thing.
Yes, it is. I'd rather see a little bit of action.
Let's go to Red Top real quick. Hey, Red Top.
Hey, the best news I heard today, Joey, is you're going to host a Libertarian Party convention. Is that what it is, the convention?
No, I'm not going to host the convention. I'll be hosting the debate they'll be having at the convention.
Okay.
Ah, good. I am going. I've been waiting a lifetime for a chance to go to a Libertarian anything, man. So I challenge everybody on this radio station to go there and support Joey. And let's show them how. I just soon everybody become a Libertarian because my chances of smoking pot legal are a hell of a lot better. But
that's your selling point, big boy. I don't know.
Hey, he's come a long way.
Anybody's got a brain that knows that it shouldn't be illegal, and it hasn't supposed to be for 55 years. It's all about putting hippies in jail. That's how this.
It's a good thing you're an artist and a craftsman and not a diplomat.
Damn hippies. Ain't no doubt. Oh, ain't no doubt, because I'd be as bad as Donald Trump. There would be no negotiating.
Well, and I'll let folks know, because the details aren't really clear yet. I'll probably be having the candidates on for interviews on the show before we hit that day, and then
good idea.
I'll give folks details as we know.
Now, on another quick subject, again, I want to compliment XI Repair, because I trusted him with my CD, and I went and had a flash drive made. And he actually put the right songs on the flash drive in the right order. You wouldn't believe how relieved I was, Joey.
Oh,
There's not many people in the world I can count on to do something that correctly. Apparently, XI Repair are one of those few people. Now, Sky has heard it, and he's going to give it to you. Please take care of it, because it cost me $120 to have that flash drive made. But it's 3 heavy alternative songs.
Okay.
And no, we did not play this at Life Teen Mass at the Catholic Church. And you'll see why. But I've been telling you for years I produce and play music. You're going to hear a lot of bass guitar, so I hope you enjoy it, my friend. And do what you wish with it, but give it back to Sky, because I'm going to start sending him more cuts from many years, because I must have 100 pieces of music.
Awesome.
So I would consider it an honor if you would listen to it, sir.
I will.
All right. Thank you, guys. Roll Tide, go Trump.
See you, bud.
Let's now go to Joey from Prattville.
Hey, Joey.
Hey, Joey.
Hey, gentlemen, what's up?
How you doing, man?
If I was any better, I'd be clean.
I heard that.
Hey, all right. So, am I coming across clear? Can I hear a crackle?
No, you sound clear to me.
You're good.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I heard a little crackle. I've listened this whole week, and one rant, a new complaint, a new problem, a new this, a new that. Oh my God! Now we're worried about Trump. It's a dire situation. Look, Trump's going to be gone. And I'm not necessarily like a Trump fan, okay? But I do respect what the dude has done, and I kind of live his thought process. I mean, like, I'm not just like common dude. I mean, those are the things I want to say. That's the first thought that pops in my mind when I hear the stuff he's talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But call it not being politically correct, whatever. I called in. Eddie will remember, because I mentioned the term pissed off peasants, where I was talking about that all we ever do is we sit around and we complain. Look, what they're trying to do right now, the only reason Trump is not prosecuted already and found guilty is they know they cannot put him as the past president in a prison. They're trying to come up with a way to be able to, like, take all his businesses from him and be able to find a law that allows him to do that. He can no longer do business. Like, put him on a house arrest with his little Secret Service, but he can never leave Mar-a-Lago. He can never do business again. He can't hold a company because he's a convict. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They're trying to figure out a way. Otherwise, he'd already be there. All right? And honestly, but the reason they're afraid of pulling that trigger right now, and I don't know where to look, but the first thought that comes in my mind, those jurisdictions where all these different charges are from. We got DAs they ran on a campaign of prosecuting Trump.
Yep.
You got judges posting selfies, smiling in courtrooms where there is no jury. He is guilty already. They have to figure out how to make it work. That's the only reason they haven't pulled the trigger. Now, in those districts, who's the appellate judge? Because everything can be appealed. But until that appeal, as soon as he files the appeal, and he has grounds already, so it gets granted, so therefore the verdict is imposed. So if it's not imposed, he's not convicted, he can still be on the ballot. See, he's still not off the ballot. He can still win the election because it's still under appeal. But now, so who's the appellate judges? I'm willing to bet if we actually did some research, we'll find out that, like, in the little county area of Georgia and the one up there in New York, those appellate judges that those cases would go back to are pretty reasonable people.
Right.
Hence the reason they haven't pulled that trigger yet. Otherwise, Trump would be gone.
Well, and also with a case like this, they could probably fast track appeals to the Supreme Court.
Right. So right now we have a pretty good standing in the Supreme, and hence the reason they can't do that. I mean, of course they could fast track it because look how fast the trial even started. Trials like this don't start that fast. I mean, they just don't happen. All right, I'm not a perfect person. I'm an ex-con. It took me 2.5 years to go to trial on my charge. And I had a theft of property case. I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's stupid. Trials don't go to case. Now, I think their bigger problem and the things that we need to look out for is, one, this administration don't care. We talk about this whole little Sidney, the lawyer. Just wait a minute. How are you going to convict or threaten to convict a lawyer who's presiding over? Dude, we gave Nazis lawyers during World War II. Okay? We gave them defense teams, the ones that were over here that were the prisoners. Well, we can defend them, but Trump can't get a defense? No, that lady was threatened. That lady was coerced. That whole little statement was made up. I don't care. Now, we have one of two choices, because when I called in about that pissed off peasant thing, I made the statement. Who do we go to as a people? Because they're going to have one of two choices. If they figure out how to lock Trump up and be able to make it all legit where they don't have to worry about the appeal before the election, Trump's gone and nobody else is going to beat Biden. They will be able to steal enough votes to cover that. I don't think they'll be able to cover the turnout that's going to come for Trump, who they know is going to fight against him. That's when the whole little where I said they were going to put him in the ground if they had to. That's where that comes into play. But I asked you over a month ago, where do we go? I mean, because if people aren't ready to get ready to stand up, it's coming. It's going to be forced. And if people don't realize that, if we do, we're either, I think they mentioned, I'll tell you the first thing that they're going to do if the Democrats get the election again or they manage to steal it, they put Trump in jail so they can beat everybody else. The first thing they're going to do, remember when they taunted the little figures for making the Dominican Republic and something else, 2 more state things?
Right.
Those are going Democrats, and they have the vast majority, and you would never win another election with vote again. And from that point on, we do become a police state. Okay? Now, are people ready to fight over that? Because I'm yet to hear where we go legally. Who's going to get us out of this in a legal manner? So if there ain't a legal way out, then there's a physical way out. And who's ready? And I'll hang up, and I want to listen to your gentleman's comment. Y'all have a blessed day.
Appreciate it, Joey. 272-9228. Well, we went over this, Eddie, the other day.
Yep.
That new poll that came out showed that 41% of Biden supporters and 38% of Trump supporters say it's at such a point that the other side is so extreme that violence
is acceptable, right?
Yeah.
Disturbing.
Yeah, and y'all know my position on that. No. I'm not saying it couldn't go there, but I'll probably be chewed up and spit out because I think going down that road is, even if you're all supportive of it, you're starting something that you have no clue what you're doing. Even the smartest among you, most informed. That said, well, I know who, if it's not Trump, heck, even in the primary, if Trump's still on the ballot, I'm going with Mr. Ramaswamy. Now, is he going to be able to have the same energy as a Trump? Probably not. So where do we go? If you paint this scenario of the Democrats taking over all of government, adding states to the union, centralizing, say, how voting procedures are done, adding justices to the Supreme Court, yeah, you're talking about a massive sea change in the country. But we still do have states. And I would start looking to a new generation of leaders that are elected as governors, that are elected to all sorts of offices throughout many states in this nation to start to push back. Now, you think, oh, people think illusions of the Civil War. Again, that's the wrong frame of mind. One situation could be, look at the fall of the Soviet Union. It was largely bloodless. Thank God.
Ran out of money.
That's the extreme position. But take less extreme positions, like what you see with certain states pushing back against immigration enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be sanctuary cities. Look at the growth of marijuana legalization all over the nation. That's the latest example of nullification that is, spread like wildfire. You see many instances, and I would recommend looking at the 10th Amendment Center, where states and locales have passed all sorts of things saying, we ain't going to enforce your federal laws when it comes to guns, when it comes to all sorts of things. The beautiful thing about our system and about our country is that it isn't, and it's in the Constitution, it isn't just reliant on Washington, D.C. And there are ways to, say, strike out and strike back. That said, I don't think the Democrats are going to get there. At least that's my hope. I don't think they're going to get into a position where they all of a sudden get everything they want. And in fact, I don't think the Republican Party is going to get into a position exactly, they get everything they want.
Right.
I think the one way, and this is why I like Vivek so much, is it's not team blue or team red, which, by the way, what a brilliant switch, because the commies, the Reds used to always be the commies, right?
Right.
And now it's red state, means deep conservative. It's interesting how that Because it used to be each election cycle they would switch on the networks, right? Sometimes it would be blue, sometimes it would be red for each team. And now, for whatever reason, it's now red means it's an interesting switch.
Yeah.
But when you combine the two together, you get purple. And I think if you get somebody that can appeal to Americanness, Americana, somebody that appeals to a lot of the common values of this country, offers a way out from this cold civil war, that's what it seems to be, a cold cultural civil war right now, you might see a lot of support. And it could be somebody that the right and the left try to pigeonhole as some, radical of one form or another. I think that is a possibility. Do not underestimate that there are a lot of very smart, capable young folks, by young I mean late 30s, 40s, who are ready to have a different approach to American politics. And they're going to do it based on the law, based on the Constitution, but they're going to use the certain leverage points and levers of power that you have in this great Constitution of ours to actually make a change. Who knows? It could go to the worst. Heck, we could end up seeing nukes fly. Who the heck knows? Now, and one final point to your great call, Joey from Prattville. And Eddie, add in on this if you like. But, I wrote the thing almost right before right after my birthday last year, early December. And it was talking about how I'm becoming more like my father and my grandfather.
Right.
And a big takeaway from that is, there are a lot of things in life. It's the serenity prayer. It's the old Stoic philosophers. You got to know what you can control and what you can't in life. You got to have the wisdom to know the difference. And at a certain point, what you realize is that, bitching and moaning about all the things going on in this world sometimes is a great way to mock your fate all the same and to get along with the folks you love. Sometimes you say, we're just pissed off peasants and we're ranting and raving. Yes, there's a lot of that for sure. But there's also, I think, some value in it. And you might be surprised on who agrees with you on a lot of different issues. We talk these things through. We Americans argue with each other until we're blue in the face. Because, number one, that's what we know. And number two, I think it creates outcomes that initially look messy. It's like, look at this chaotic nation. And yet, throughout our history, we've been able to rise out of that. I think it's remarkable that you've seen people on the right, people on the left to say, we're in decline, we're in decline, we're in decline. And there's been an exception every time. And it's an American exceptionalism that I think is not lost if you set the American people free. What you need is a reframe, to put it simply. 272-9228. This is part of the program brought to you by New Look Decorating Center, and they're at New Look Decorating. Brett Lanham and that great team is. And they're ready to help you with your paint selections, stain selections. Maybe you're even in the market for fabrics and wallpaper.
They got someone there just for that?
Katie is the person to ask for if you're looking at wallpaper and fabrics. And in fact, you're looking at fabrics, right?
I was looking at fabrics, and actually, I think it was yesterday. I went in there and I had to get some paint samples because we're fixing to take up on a huge painting project up at the new house. So they were actually, I wasn't sure of what color to pick, and so I bought 2 samples.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put them on today, but they were really nice. I said, do I just slap them on, be done with it? He's like, no. Put it where you want to put it, but put 2 coats on there. Make sure it's good and dry before you make your decision. Now, me being me, I probably just slapped a coat on there of each one and compared the 2 and went on. But he's right. I'm going to put 2 coats of paint on everything. You want that sample to look just like it's going to look when you put it on the wall. So,
there you go.
You guys are pretty good down there, man.
So y'all check out New Look Decorating Center today. Again, not only are they able to help you with that high-quality Benjamin Moore paint and stain supply selection they have there, the wallpapers and the fabrics.
Yeah.
They can also give you tips and tricks so you do it yourself the right way the first time. They know all the contractors in town, so if you're looking to hire somebody for a big job, they can help you out in that regard. And not only are you supporting a great 40-year local business, you're supporting the larger Alabama economy when you do something like this. I believe Benjamin Moore's, one of their largest plants, is right here in Pell City, Alabama. So check out New Look Decorating Center today. Again, you can always call them at 271-0007. That's 271-0007. Or go to newlookdecoratingcenter.com. But I really encourage you to stop by that showroom. Go say hi to Brett, to Jordan, to Katie. 6237 Atlanta Highway, right here in Montgomery, where Bell Road dead ends to Atlanta Highway. You'll see it in all its glory. Benjamin Moore's New Look Decorating Center. And be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228. I've got to hit a break here, but Urbanite and Ed, hold your positions. Come to you here soon.
Joey Clark.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Pumpkins, pumpkins, pumpkins. Don't miss the annual Pumpkin Festival this weekend at Sweet Creek Farm Market. This year, it's bigger than ever. Bring your family for a day of fun for all ages. There will be an arts and crafts show with more than 50 vendors featuring Alabama-made products. The Pumpkin Festival at Sweet Creek Farm Market will have food trucks, bonfires, live music, and entertainment. The kids will love the petting zoo, face painting, pony rides, cakewalks, and inflatables. And don't forget about the pumpkins, and more pumpkins. Come join in on the family fun. Look up Sweet Creek Farm Market on Facebook for all the details. Come celebrate fall at the annual Pumpkin Festival this Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4. Sweet Creek Farm Market, 2 miles south of Taylor Road on Highway 231 South. See you at Sweet Creek Farm Market at the Pumpkin Festival.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your fall market report on real estate in the River Region. From January through September of 2023, close to 3,600 homes have sold and closed in our area through area realtors. Our average sales price is approximately $250,000, which makes us one of the most affordable areas in the state to buy a house. So far this year, sellers that listed with an area realtor were blessed with a sales price that was 98% of the listed price or possibly above listed price. Because we have had a severe shortage of houses on the market, the buyers have had to look a little longer to find a home that satisfied their needs. Even with higher rates, local mortgage lenders have found ways for buyers to buy down rates on their mortgages and making the transition from tenants to home ownership possible. For all the details, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Shaw's Garden Center and Landscaping will help keep your yard looking its best as the seasons change. Fall is the time to freshen up your pine straw beds. Shaw's has pine straw bales available at cost, only $4.50 each. Pumpkins, wheat straw, mums, sunflowers, and much more. Shaw's can help fight annoying insects with their pest products. With 50 years of experience, the pros at Shaw's Garden Center can offer advice and tips to help get you growing. Visit 3295 Wetumpka Highway in Montgomery or like them on Facebook.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company, run by Alabamians for Alabamians. 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. And we got some patient callers here. Let's go to Urbanite. Hey, Urbanite.
Hey, Urbanite.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing,
I love
buddy?
the way you call yourself an American, Joey, instead of a citizen of the United States. Is there a particular reason?
It's just a common vernacular.
Yeah, but you know how that vernacular got started? You know that was one of the 1970s brainwashing moves by our wonderful government and all the liberals. Introducing the metric system to us. I know Eddie remembers this when the metric system was being forced upon us, but which is something I'm not a problem with because I travel a lot.
Right. It was actually normal by the time I see it come upon
Right,
us.
but I laugh at most Americans because most Americans, even if they took Spanish in school, are horrible at it. And then you've got, how many of you speak French to a conversational level? Zero. So it's like, you don't speak French, you don't speak Spanish, so why do you call yourself an American when you know you're a citizen of the United States? But anyway, that's a little thing. My thing is
so little it's like splitting a hair. Yeah.
I love the big picture. Here's the big picture. If our friend does not get his way come November of 2024, and he's not listed as the candidate, what's he going to do?
I'll probably stay home and suck my thumb. No, my plan.
No, not you. I said, Mr. Trump. What do you think Mr. Trump would do if? Because I figure at some point the system's going to make us have a Republican primary, and he may not get it in a Republican primary.
So what exactly is the scenario here where he's taken off the ballot in, say, a crucial battleground state?
Now, let's say there's a fight between he and another candidate, and he gets bent out of shape because he thinks it should be handed to him.
Right now, man, if you look at the polling, every time they go after him legally, he's stronger than he's been in a long time.
It's so fun. Now, this is the same polling that you didn't believe in when Hillary Clinton was in the lead. So you can't have it both ways.
Well, it depends on your pollsters.
Are you going to believe the polling, or are you going to believe the vibe in the air?
I believe trends in polling, generally speaking.
I don't mean just your bubble. I mean the actual vibe in the air, national, which includes a whole lot of purple. Which I think the Speaker of the House race told you that purple was leading the pack right now. Because had it been about red states, we would have had Jim Jordan. You know that, and I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So the purple is leading the game right now.
Okay.
So what do you think he's going to do if he doesn't get it? Think he's going to go for a third-party attempt?
No.
You don't think he'd do that?
I think he's quite capable of that and many other things.
Okay.
But we're dealing in a hypothetical that we'd need to know the details. What state is he pulled off the ballot? These sorts of things.
I like it.
And also, purple can mean a lot of different things. It's how he did get over the hump and how the polling missed in 16. Is there are a lot of folks who hadn't voted in a long, long time, or folks who voted for the very first time in their life. So you have folks who are professional independents and moderates who pride themselves in reading the news every day, which means you're probably very misinformed, with a lot of great words to be misinformed. But there are a lot of folks who initially who were brought to the game by Trump. And that might be happening again. Who knows? But I think there's the bottom line for me. You keep asking me all these questions. Is I don't know. And in fact, anybody saying I know for certain is probably fibbing. Yeah. Appreciate it, Urban.
All right, no problem.
272-9228. Let's go to Ed. Hey, Ed, how you doing?
Hello there. You doing all right?
Yeah, doing okay.
Yeah. I was listening to the, as they say, previous call. I think what's be interesting is what the half of the other country is going to do. He's not elected. But, I wanted to just tell you about a little perspective I'm having on the Israeli conflict.
Sure.
A terror war. And so when it first happened, I'm not a Jew, but I do support the Jewish state, Israel, and I mean, Christ was came to earth there, and for many reasons, I'm a Christian, so But so in support of the Jews, I wore a star-dated lapel pin a couple of days, and I bought a Israeli star-dated flag and hung it on my front porch, just in support of Israel. And that was the first day, October 7th, when it happened. And so 2 weeks later, I'm afraid to put that flag out on my front porch. I'm afraid to wear that star-dated lapel pin because of, so the question, I guess, is rhetorical, but what do you make of this just kind of satanic support for the Hamas around the world in our schools and our society? It's disturbing to me.
Well, some of this is, especially at the college level, people are inculcated in it. I mean, look at, say, colonial studies, and that's now a several-decade-old field. Some folks said after the attack, this is what we mean by decolonization. There are some folks that just view Israel as this imperialist force there in the region, and they try to split hairs like, oh, I'm anti-Zionist, not anti-Semitic. Oh, would you get that from Farrakhan? So, interesting, right, in that regard. But I also think some of it is people trying to be neutral and kind of see this thing through, and actually I think that's where the United States has kind of gone wrong. These peace negotiations have been falling through because the incentive is for them to fall through for both the Jewish state and for the Palestinians. Every time it falls through, Israel gets more land, the Palestinians get more money. And so when I look back here at home...
Terrible way for peace.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, and so I also would say let's not kid ourselves. I said it earlier today on Jeff Poor's show. I'm very much a believer, if you know Thomas Sowell's Conflict of Visions. He puts it beautifully. I'm very much in the camp of the constrained vision of human nature, or the tragic view of human nature, that as much as we do get wealthier, and in many ways even more tolerant, and we improve in a lot of ways, we're still the same creatures that have occupied this earth for thousands of years. And one thing, if you look at modern human history, or let's say the last 2,000 years of history, anti-Semitism is very real, and it keeps popping up, and sadly it doesn't seem we've shaken that.
Yeah, and as it says, human heart, man, is desperately wicked. So, we all have that in us. It's just, I think if someone, he had a way to show these people the IDF film. I don't know if you've watched it yet, of where they verified and with the videos. But I don't think that would help. I think they would still. I heard a Jewish girl. She said, "I'm a Jew," and she was in there tearing down the pictures of the babies that were killed that day. Like,
yeah,
just it's a terrible time to live in, but hang in there.
Yeah, and I just hope it doesn't spread wider. But I have yet to report on what Erdogan was saying today, the president of Turkey, and it's like ominous waters ahead, choppy waters ahead. Well, I appreciate the call, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
I'll get talk with you.
You
Thanks,
too,
sir.
man. Have a great one.
272-9228. Let's go to Eric the dog real quick here. Hey, Eric.
What up, dog?
Hola.
What's
How you
happening
doing?
with you? Eric?
Sir?
There you are. What's happening, man?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. We got to be careful about this whole, taking it to them.
Yeah.
If you start fighting about stuff, then you realize that when you take over power, the way that they get power back from you is to fight about it, right?
Yeah.
So.
No, and I've been saying on the show for a
what
few
you-
years now, they've been trying to, it's like they've been trying to egg people on and to get somebody to do something violent and stupid. It would only, January 6th made them more powerful. It made Trump weak. They want another thing like that. That sort of approach does not work at all.
Yeah, they want to trigger something. They want to trigger something so they can really come out with all their guns and.
Right.
I mean, I get it. There's a bunch of rednecks and stuff, but be frank, they deploy the military, which I know because of Hasa Kumatalis ain't supposed to, but you give them a dire enough situation that bag of tapioca in there will do whatever somebody else tells them to do. Here, sign this, Mr. President. This is fine. You can do this. This is totally legal. They have to take it to the court to get it disbanded or told not to do it, and then we'll just find another way to do it. They're really just disingenuous and treat us like a bunch of idiots. And, I mean, to be fair, we give them enough rope to do us like that, so I just...
Well, and this is a strange thought, because the instinct of the mind and the body, though, is to fight, to survive. I've had this argument with Eddie plenty. But wouldn't you say that's right, Eddie? Like, if you're down and out, the incentive, the instinct is to just fight like hell, go out fighting. But, you know, sometimes in human history, when the person says, I'm willing to be the guy that you want to hang, for better word, or those people tend to live forever. Don't underestimate being the person who's willing to even lose your life to say, I'm willing to suffer the worst and show the rest of the world that I'll suffer it. And it might seem...
Worked out good for...
Right.
Worked out good for Gandhi. I mean...
Right.
I'm just...
Well, for instance, I'll put it this way. We still don't know the Tank Man's name in China, but the Chinese government to this day fears people remembering that, talking about that. There's something powerful about the suffering servant.
What if he would have never stood up?
Right.
So at one point, and I'm this guy,
exactly.
I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees. I'm that guy all day long.
But amen.
Let's go.
Amen. This is my point I'm making, though. But that guy didn't stand up to take up arms.
No.
He stood there and he wasn't going to move. Right.
He stood up for himself.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's what we need to do en masse. You know, what can the government do to you? They can take your possessions, they can take your money, they can take your freedom. Well, they can't take everybody's. Not all at once. They can't.
If they all lay down,
but the problem is they've done. Well, yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
There you go.
And they've done such a good job of dividing us that, you know, one side thinks the other side's doing something, and it's neither one of us. It's the people in the background. You know, they got us thinking about black and white, and they're thinking about green. I mean, and at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a giant transfer of wealth. They're depleting our resources and our value and spreading it around to the world. You know, inflating our money away, stealing from us. And they're just trying to make us weak. If they take us down, then they can do whatever they want to.
Well, Eric, I've noticed something since we changed time slots from 9 to noon to 3. You're serious in the afternoons.
Yeah.
Well, I get grouchy. I mean,
I hear you, man.
Stuff really just it pisses me off. I hate to be taken advantage of, and I hate that, you know, people just think that we're en masse is just dumb, and that they can sit here and not even hide it anymore, just come out and just do what they want to, and we sit here and take it. And what recourse do we have? It makes me I'm mad. I mean, and I don't know what to do about it. And I mean,
but again, people got to have
kind of cathartic, but
people got to have hope. Again, the folks Trump brought to the dance were not traditional Republicans or Democrats. Mm-hmm. When you look at the broader movement fighting against this system that we find so abhorrent, Elon Musk ain't some dyed-in-the-wool Republican. Neither is Joe Rogan. Some of the biggest names in media in the world right now. It is a odd time where you even have agnostics and atheists talking about reading scripture and saying that's what you must do even if you don't believe in it, especially in hard times. You have to go back to these books that your forefathers believed in. And hopefully you'll find the belief yourself. There's something that is, I think, very odd happening, but in a good way. And have hope, folks, even though it can be a dangerous thing. But have hope in the right things. I'll put it that way.
I'm not hopeless. I'm just pissed off, and I'm ready to do something.
Well, that might be the line of the day. Appreciate you, Eric.
See you, dog.
All right, y'all. Adios.
272-9228. Oh, we got to hit this break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by XI Repair.
That's right.
Now, you just heard Red Top singing their praises, and Red Top can be fairly critical at times.
I actually wrote that down, Joey, that if they made Red Top happy, they can make anybody happy.
Right.
I mean, come on. Let's be honest.
Right. That gadfly, that curmudgeon. And if XI Repair can, man, that's impressive work on their part.
They've had 35,000 repairs completed.
Wow.
Since they've been open. And they have a 98% positive feedback rating from their clients.
Whew.
You can't beat that, man.
And of course, folks, you can always call them at 777-1234.
Yep.
But a great way to get in the queue, say you drop your phone at 2 in the morning and it shatters. You can immediately go to xirepair.com, get in the queue, get an immediate quote.
Yeah, I saw that today. You can get a quote right away.
And again, whether
Pretty
it's
cool.
smartphones, desktop, laptop, computers, gaming consoles, even drones sometimes. Or maybe you need a flash drive put together for
That
you.
happens, right.
They can do it all there. So again, be sure to check out XI Repair today for all those electronic repair needs. And also be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. Hopefully we'll have Ray Bowles on the other side of this break.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, you will immediately see the difference in pricing. Not only do we offer the most competitive rates, but our closing costs rank among the lowest in the industry. How do we do it? Because we can. We do not have the overhead that big banks and lenders do. Those big banks and lenders have big expenses. And what do? They pass those expenses along to you. Meanwhile, here at Alabama Home Mortgage, we receive wholesale rates which result in big savings that we pass along to you. Don't pay more for less. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our rates and pricing are just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Kia of Auburn invites you to come by and experience the all-new electric vehicle, the 2023 Kia KV6. It is gorgeous and as practical as it is cool. Just think of the thousands of dollars you'll save in gas and time you'll save by not going in for oil changes, plus the added benefit to our environment. Kia of Auburn, a proud supporter of Auburn University Athletics. Kia of Auburn, where you are always number one. KiaofAuburn.com.
You're all set with your Medicare prescriptions, Mrs. Brown.
This is not just low-cost copays at Walgreens.
I can actually help you set up 90-day refills if you want.
This is having a partner you can trust. Get low-cost copays, 90-day refills, and delivery from your neighborhood Walgreens. This is being independent. Together. Walgreens.
Restrictions apply. For details, see walgreens.com/pharmacy.
The holiday season is quickly approaching, and what better way to spread joy than by giving back to those in need? We're calling on all of you, our generous listeners, to make this holiday season extra special for those who might be struggling. Join us for our annual holiday food drive, benefiting the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. It's simple. Just gather those non-perishable food items like canned goods, pasta, rice from your pantry, and drop them off at any of our convenient sponsor locations across the river region. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can feed families in need this holiday season. Starting October 30th, bring your donations to Physical Therapy and Balance Centers in Prattville, Rick's Jewelers, or Riverside Chevrolet. Donate what you can. It's Blue Water Broadcasting's annual holiday food drive.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. This remarkable late October weather pattern continues, and still no rain in the forecast. Tonight, mostly clear skies and mild for October, with a low temperature down to about 61. Tomorrow and Saturday, high both days up around 84. Still dry, more sun, and mid-80s on Sunday, the last Sunday in October. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane, across from Del Rey Publix.
Do you have a cell phone or tablet that isn't charging, dying fast, or maybe the screen is damaged? Don't get suckered into buying a new one. XI Repair can fix your current device same day and in under 30 minutes. Their certified technicians fix and recover data from thousands of cell phones, computers, tablets, game consoles, and drones 7 days a week. Give them a call today at 334-777-1234 or visit them online at xirepair.com.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk
93.1. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
How you doing, Ray?
Good. We got a little problem, guys.
What you got, bro?
Angie wants me to fire y'all.
What?
I know why.
The October sale.
Yep.
I've been running like a madman. We've been so daggum busy. And she's blaming y'all because of your radio station, and your listeners are calling us. And every night I'm scoring my head off and she can't sleep.
Yeah, but is this one of those things when you get the check later that she's like, I love you?
Yeah, well, I'm coming over December, she'll be happy.
Right.
Right now,
Exactly.
She is not getting any sleep. And I said, hey, it's not my fault that Joey's has such good, loyal listeners that they're all calling us, and we're all running around like crazy giving out free measurements.
Absolutely.
So don't worry about it. I talked her out of it. I talked her off the cliff.
Appreciate that, Ray.
She was
Appreciate
awful
that.
mad at me before this morning. Before this morning, she was not happy with none of it.
Well, folks, you got to lock in these incredible sale prices. Even if you're not looking to put carpet or new floors down this October, you can lock in that price. Just call them at 285-8117. Ask for a free in-home measurement. And that way, whatever item, whatever surface you pick out, they're going to know the price. Really good deal.
Absolutely. And guys, hey, listen, I don't mind running 100 miles an hour. Neither does none of my other guys. Our wives are getting no sleep right now, but it'll be fine. It's fine.
It'll be fine.
Let's do it for the wives. They don't need sleep. That's overrated, right?
Most days, yeah. You sleep when you're dead. That's what I always tell myself.
Yeah. They don't have to sleep now. So call us today. 285-8117 will come out, and you'll see why you need to call us when we get out there.
And when you call 285-8117, also be sure to mention that you heard Ray Bowles on with Joey and Eddie on the radio.
Guys, y'all have a great day.
You too, man.
See you, Ray.
And I think we got time, for Dan.
Time for Dan? Hey,
Hello,
Dan.
Dan.
How you doing, gentlemen?
All righty.
Use that term loosely.
But of course.
What I got a problem with is if y'all been watching TV, they have this nice-looking Hispanic girl come on TV and tell everybody that, the problems with that, but you need to get out and vote. Don't sit on your butt. Get out and vote. But she neglects to tell everybody that you have to be a U.S. citizen to vote. That's on national TV all over the network.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bunch of bull. I know y'all seen it, haven't you?
Actually, I don't have cable, so I don't see as many commercials these days. But is it like Eva Longoria, or is it like? I mean, it's some good-looking.
No, it's a nice-looking Hispanic girl that she comes out and says, we got all these problems, and you need to change them by getting out the vote. But they neglect to say you have to be a U.S. citizen to vote.
Well, that certainly should be a requirement.
No doubt.
There's a lot of changes that need to be made, but it's got to be state by state. I'm running out of time, Dan. I appreciate the call.
No. If you're in the United States, you have to be a citizen to vote. That's all
Right.
50 states.
That's true.
Right.
Not
I'm talking about like the
57,
mass
but all
mail-out
50.
voting, all these changes they made.
Right.
But you're right. You got to be a
But-
citizen. Yes.
But what she's doing is getting Hispanics that have illegally come into the country that get damn driver's license, and they use them for voter IDs, and they can vote.
Got to stop
We
it.
need
Been
to
doing it
clean
for
up our
years.
voter registry.
There you go.
Amen. Well, I appreciate it, Dan. I got to run. I'm out of time. Sorry, Robert didn't have time to get to you, but good show, Eddie.
It was a great show.
Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour is next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.